This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hey y'all, it's so good to see you here this here day. We are talking about something rather sad. You might get some behind the scenes action here because there does appear to be some court records on this guy, and I was trying to grab them. I should have already had this done. So we might do it live so you guys can learn how to do it. I always try to share my knowledge with you guys about how to do these things. So like if you want to start a YouTube channel, you can do so. So with that, it's nice to see you here then. Bad Girl, Ava Sim, Rosie, Indy, Orange, Katie K, Sherry, not Shari. Southern Cats is here. Nice to see you. Abellis, Paramandy. Rosie is here. Julie Ann is here. Guilty of Crime is here. Good to see you. I wanted to talk to you about something. I'll have to get with you. Lorraine, good to see you. Rubber Ramada, good to see you. Cara, my love, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Sarah's here. Good to see you. Good to see you. So glad y'all are here. Jenna's Gypsy. Good to see you. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Good to see you. Bad Girl. I don't know if I got you yet, my love. Good to see you. Okay. I sure will. Thank you. I sure will. Okay. So what we have, I pulled some videos that we're just going to quickly watch. There was a press conference and all of that. So we're going to start with that so we can kind of get some ideas on it because I don't know a whole lot about this either at the moment. Let me pull up my playlist. Okay. Now I'll pull up the screen. Okay, Abellis. Yeah, so I did find out there is some court documents. His name, first of all, if I show you how, if we get to that point, like if they're not on the video, he is in Wenatchee, Washington, which is in Chelan County. His name is Travis Caleb Decker, and he's 32. You got to try to have that information if you're going to do a court record search. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. Okay, so we've got some that are older, 14, 17, 3 hours ago. We'll go all the way back to 17 hours ago. We'll go back to 16 hours ago. This is going to be from Live Now from Fox.
Of the Seattle area. Take a look at that live picture there over the Seattle skyline. Here at Sue Live Now from Fox, I'm Andrew Kraft. We take you now about 3 hours east of the Seattle area. Take a look at that live picture there over the Seattle skyline. A gorgeous view there. But this story next.
That is a pretty view. I like Seattle, but mainly because a lot of the musicians that I like come from there. My favorite band is Alice in Chains. I do believe they're from there. And I like Nirvana too. Everybody likes Nirvana.
Is very tragic here. I want to put up some of this photos and video that we have. This is what we know. 3 young girls were reported missing last week. They were found dead yesterday. That's according to the Wenatchee Police Department in Washington State. Authorities now searching for their father, 32-year-old Travis Decker. He's wanted.
Look at them girls. They're so pretty. And they look just, I mean, I can see him in them. Like all 3 look so very similar, but they look like him, especially her on the end. I know one of them's named, I do believe, Evelyn. They're going to tell us their names.
For 3 counts of first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. This is somewhat of a theme here on Live Now over the past couple of weeks. Manhunts in states like Louisiana, Arkansas, and now Washington State for this father. Our colleagues at Fox 13 Seattle, including reporter AJ Janavel, they're on this story, and AJ joins me live. AJ, thanks so much for being with us here on a really, really difficult story to tell. Get our viewers up to speed if they're just coming to this story for the first time.
Andrew, it's just a tragic situation, and you kind of hit all of these specifics that we have been finding out over the last few days. So the way it's
good to see you, Black Knight. Thank you for being here.
started was this incident happened around Friday. This father had a scheduled visit with these 3 girls, all under the age of 10, all his daughters. But when he did not show back up to drop these young girls off, that's when this search began. Throughout the weekend, as well as throughout all of Monday, we were hoping and waiting for the best case scenario, looking for answers. A massive search, including different agencies in this area, looking for those 3 girls. Their names, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, all under 10 years old, all sisters. We found out this morning that investigators found the bodies of all 3 of these sisters a short while away from this Wenatchee area where we are, in a town called Leavenworth, Washington. But what investigators have not found is that suspect, the father, Decker. He's 32 years old. He has an interesting history. Investigators say he's former military. They believe.
So former military is not going to be good as far as trying to evade authorities. Hey, Ali X, good to see you. Carr said it's another fucking Chris Watts. Yeah. He's running, though. I don't know necessarily that Chris ran afterwards, I don't think. I think he was in front of the camera saying, I'm so upset. But yeah, it's really sad. I don't understand familial side, I think is how you pronounce it. We're going to talk about that, too, and what it actually, like the definition, why people do it. I think this had to do with a custody issue from what I'm hearing so far, considering that they were there for visitation. I think it might be to get back at the mother, unfortunately. Which is just even more sick. Like, narcissism comes to mind. The fact that you would kill your own offspring to get back at your ex. Like, absolutely just unfathomable. Unfathomable. Probably said that wrong.
That he has a special set of skills because of his background in the military that he makes him even more dangerous than a normal person. They also believe that he could have a gun. So they're warning the community because the biggest thing right now is finding this suspect. But the concern is how dangerous he is because, as you mentioned, investigators believe that he killed all 3 of his children. So what they're asking is anyone who has any information or even sees Decker in the community to immediately call 911, to not approach him in any way, shape, or form. Now, we are in Wenatchee. This is where those little girls lived. All 3 of them went to an elementary school down the street. And behind me, in less than an hour, there is a vigil that is planned with members of that school, with members of the community. We've been hearing from people, from parents who got a chance to know these little girls through things like sports, through things like the classroom. And if, Andrew, there's any glimmer of hope within this absolutely terrible story, is this, the community support. In just a few hours, really today, a GoFundMe has raised about $200,000 for Whitney Decker. That is the mother of these 3 little girls. So you're seeing just how much of an impact this family has had on the community with how much money has been raised in such a short amount of time. Andrew?
AJ, I have to ask about the mother in particular. Can't imagine what she's going through, the worst moments of her life. Have we heard from her at all? Have we heard from any other members of the family?
Ali X says shame on the court for allowing him visitation. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for a court system, right? Because they want both parents to be involved in the child's life. That's what's usually best for the children. You don't never think that somebody would be capable of something like this. Like, I don't know who he was around. He might have hid things well. It's really sad, and I don't think anybody saw this coming or it wouldn't have happened. I hope. We're going to find out more as we go through.
We actually got a chance to speak to Whitney Decker, the mom, on Monday, and it's heartbreaking because she remained hopeful that her 3 girls would be returned safely. This is a situation, again, this visit was scheduled. This was something that was planned with the father, Travis Decker, and the hope was that there was some sort of mistake or some sort of incident that had happened to delay the returning of these 3 girls in the normal process of this scheduled visitation.
Sarah just gifted 5 Speculation Station memberships. Thank you so very much for that. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet and supportive of you. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet and amazing. Those went to Maisie, Tracy Price, Carol Marine, Mom of 3, Beetle Bop Boop. Okay. Beetle Bop Bop Deedle, and Regina Schuback. So if you were gifted from Miss Sarah and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Miss Sarah's thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you, Miss Sarah. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you again, Miss Sarah. That was so very sweet of you. Hey, Jeepers Creepers. Good to see you. They're in your hammock in the woods watching. I do that when I go camping. I want to be in a hammock in the woods right now. In my opinion, if you are homeless, you can't take care of your kids. Well, that's true. I do have a thing about that. I didn't know he was homeless. So I'm going to be learning things y'all might already know. I'll give you my thoughts on that soon.
Since we have found out this absolutely devastating information, all 3 of these girls believed to be killed by investigators, I've heard from family friends that Whitney Decker, the mom, is not in a position to comment.
Okay.
I have gotten a chance to speak to a close family friend, the person behind that GoFundMe, and what is she's saying essentially is the best way that the community can show their support is twofold. One is that GoFundMe, which I've mentioned before, has raised at this point nearly $200,000. But the other thing is that suspect is still out there. Wow. They want to make sure that if you know anything, that you stay safe, but you also contact police. Andrew?
Yeah, and AJ, at the top of the next hour, to your point, this vigil will be underway. We're going to take that live here on Live Now. Another key item of this story that a lot of people are fixating on is the fact that the Washington State Patrol was contacted on Friday night to request an Amber Alert, though it did not meet the requisite criteria to issue such an alert. Are there questions about why?
Yeah, I have some questions about why. Queen of Hearts says, I'm from Watachi. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, and I apologize if I am. And they said, we are praying for Whitney. That is really sad. I'm praying for your community. I couldn't imagine.
Andrew, we've been digging into those questions for the last 2 days as you've kind of brought that up. Essentially, an Amber Alert's goal is to make the community aware as quickly as possible that there is a need for assistance. And when you find out that for some reason the specific details of this case did not rise to the level of an Amber Alert, with the hindsight that we have now, it's concerning and brings up a lot of questions. We've been working to get answers. One of the biggest focus right now, though, has been the fact that that suspect is still on the loose. So we are working to figure out exactly what happened in the situation, what, if anything, can be done to change in the future to prevent other situations like that. But the question you're asking is one that a lot of members of this community are asking as well.
Yeah, and we don't have time now, but failed to mention that this unoccupied white pickup truck was also recovered from the scene near where these 3 girls' bodies were also discovered as well. He still remains on the loose, on the run. AJ Janavel with Fox 13 in Seattle. Thanks for bringing us this incredibly difficult story. We'll check in if there are any more updates.
Okay, this is the police conference. We can see what they say. Cara said if they would have put out the Amber Alert, they could have found him before he did anything. Yeah, I'm not understanding why we didn't have the Amber Alert. Orange said earlier, my understanding, though, is he no longer had overnight visits, so unless there were other concerns, there would be no reason he couldn't spend time with the kids during the day. So if it was Friday evening and she was supposed to get him back, hey, Granny, good to see you. And Miss King of anything, good to see you. My thoughts, I forgot where I was going. Oh, okay. My understanding or my thoughts is if he had them during the day, then that Friday night when he wasn't turning them back in and nobody could contact him, would we necessarily think that he would hurt the children? I would have to know why he was no longer allowed overnight visits. Now, if he's homeless, going back to being homeless with children, again, I can only speak from my experiences, right? And I have, unfortunately, had to stay in a homeless shelter for a time, a long time ago, probably about 12 years ago. And there were children allowed in the shelter, but it was only a women's shelter. So, children were pretty safe there. Um, there are people that are homeless with children. I kind of think it depends on the situation. Like, I feel like if we can get the children out of the homeless situation through Department of Social Services, like the whole family, try to come together and put the whole family somewhere where they're safe. We need to do that. If there's one parent that is homeless, but they're getting like a hotel room or something when they have the children or to see the children, and it can be verified by dropping the children off and making sure that, the room is rented for the amount of time the children are there. I think that they could have visitation like that until they got back on their feet. But I think the main goal would be trying to find some type of housing for the children or something to that effect, if that's what's going on. How did they find them? That's where I'm at. I don't know. I'm not sure. Miss Sarah said, drive safe, Granny. Yes, drive safe, Granny. Hey, Veronica. Yes, the dad is suspected, and from what I understand, he's still on the run. There's something that is biting me, and it's driving me nuts. Rosie said, right. Granny's watching said homeless shelters are usually strict, plus he may have been in a man-only shelter. Yep, I agree. Donna said, hi, everyone. This is horrible. My God, what is biting me? I knew you would have up-to-date information, so I came here first. Well, I appreciate that. I should have prepared a little bit more, but I'm going to see what court documents I can pull, and we'll probably do it live, so you'll know how to do it too. All right. This is a 19-minute press conference, so we'll see what they have to say when the media starts asking questions, or if it kind of veers off into not really important information, we'll go on to something, looking up court documents.
Lead away, sir. Not a very big podium.
Oh. Queen of Hearts, who says she's from the area, said he had an RV at times and said that he was not staying in the shelter. Whitney said she found out he had them in a men's shelter, so she stopped letting him have overnights. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder why he has the RV at times. Maybe it's a friend's. But yeah, that would be concerning. Absolutely. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. Thank you for the information, Queen of Hearts.
Is everybody ready?
I suppose.
Try not to tip over the podium here.
That'd be a good idea.
Okay, I am Captain Brian Chance with the Wenatchee Police Department. This is Sheriff Morrison, obviously, with the Chelan County. And I'm going to start out the press release and talk about how we got to where we did just a couple of days ago, or just yesterday. So I'll start off and give you a timeline of the involvement of Wenatchee Police Department in this case. On May 30th, at about 9:35 p.m., Wenatchee police officer Corporal Gonzalez responded to a call of a civil complaint. In responding to that call, he interviewed Whitney, the mother of the 3 young girls. There was no reported history of problems with the parenting plan. There were reported concerns of Travis being homeless and financially stressed recently. Whitney was clear that during the exchanges that had occurred in the past that Travis was very communicative with her in any deviations from the parenting plan.
Okay, he said something that I feel is important. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. Their. Okay, I typed in why. Okay, why men kill their own children. Um, it's called familicides. He said that Travis was stressed, homeless, and stressed about finances. That's important when it comes to men killing their own children. So we're going to talk about familicides. Familicides? I do believe that's what it is. Real quick. It says family murders in which a perpetrator murders their partner and children are much rarer, but research tells us that how we think, talk, and write about these cases matter. It shares public attitudes and influence the ways we try to prevent them. In this context, it is important familicide be understood as a form of gender-based violence, whether in the presence or absence of a history of physical violence. It sounds like there was no physical violence so far. This is talking about another case, Hannah Clark and her 3 children. So, common denominators in familicide. Though there's not a great deal of research on familicides, what we do know suggests it is a higher gendered concern. To call an act of violence gender based is not merely to suggest it is male violence against women, although it often is. It is violence that is driven in a central way by the social and structure dimensions of gender. This means gender plays an important role in who perpetrates the violence, who is targeted, how, and why. In the case of familicides, research shows they are almost exclusively committed by men in heterosexual family relationships. A history of domestic violence is a key risk factor. Individual familicide studies show varying rates, but a recent view of existing studies, oh my goodness, I'm already getting tongue twisted, found a history of domestic violence was identified in 39% of 92 cases. Another key risk factor is the adult victim leaving or communicating their intention to leave the relationship, a well documented precipitator for intimate partner homicide or intensified violence. Familicide is not always preceded by violence, however. A desire for and sense of entitlement to control, especially over finances and the family unit, is a more common denominator. Familicide often occurs in the face of a spiraling loss of control over these areas. Again, not violence, financial finances and family units. So if they broke up and they were living together, let's say in a house, or the house was stable, he had housing and he had finances, and then they break up and he's lost control to the point that he's homeless, stressed out about finances, I think it plays a very heavy role in this situation personally. Familicide often, okay, we read that. A loss of control over, quote, masculine domains is at the heart of familicides, even where there is no clear history of domestic abuse. Some perpetrators whose actions may appear, quote, out of the blue, unquote, have described in research studies as having their lives unraveling in ways that are acutely tied to their gender identity. Given these factors, familicides are usually premeditated. Control as a factor in most killings. Many of these factors were present in recent familicide cases in Australia. Financial struggles, imminent separation or custody disputes, and careful planning of the murders. In 2016, for example, Fernando Marinique killed Maria Lutz and their 2 children, Elisa and Martin, by pumping carbon monoxide gas into the home while they slept. I apologize. I'm going to get a sip of my coffee and hopefully my mouth will work better. He also died at the scene from the gas. The inquest into the killings found although there was no known history of violence in their relationship, Manrique had a possessive attitude toward his wife, was in financial stress, and planned the crime over several weeks when he realized Maria was leaving him. Based on what we know so far, in the killings of Clark and her children, she experienced an extreme form of coercive control, with her duress and movements closely monitored and enforced by her husband. Clark had a domestic violence order against him, had recently left the relationship, and had expressed fears that her husband may kill her. Control and the imminent loss of it was central to Baxter's actions against both Clark and her children. Children can also be victims of gender based violence. And how the media covers it, I don't really feel that it's too important. Well, I'll read it because it finishes the article. How the media covers these cases. News reporting on recent familicide cases has often focused on the personal circumstances of perpetrators, their financial troubles, and the pain and heartache they must have felt. Too often, when fathers kill their children, the tendency is to frame it as a case of mental illness rather than gender driven violence. Mainstream media largely fail to provide domestic violence resources such as 1800 Respect in their reporting of the cases. Even Prime Minister, okay, it's just talking about including mental health. They frame it as more of a mental health thing than a violence thing. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want to go into politics. But the point was, I didn't check the source. I just pulled up what came up. Maybe I should have done that. We learn new lessons every day. Either way, the point is that a lot of times finances and loss of control are significant factors in things like this, in my opinion. Nessa UK, it's good to see you. Bad girl. Yes, I think the father is deceased by now too. I think he hurt the children or killed the children and then killed himself, honestly. That's what I think. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out, Veronica. Back to the press conference.
Corporal Gonzalez, after speaking with Whitney, was able to identify Decker's vehicle through a local database called Spillman. He took the vehicle information and was able to enter it into Flock, which is a system of cameras that are located within the city and also in Chelan County. Flock located the vehicle, the white GMC Sierra, traveling northbound across the Wenatchee River Bridge. This was shortly after Decker had picked up the children for the visitation. After this information was obtained, and in addition to information that had been received by Whitney that Travis frequented local hotels and often local campgrounds as well, all local hotels and campgrounds in East Wenatchee and Wenatchee were checked by patrol officers from those jurisdictions, and Decker was not located. Park rangers were also contacted at Confluence Park and made aware of the situation.
So, yeah, going back to real quick what Kara said, I always wonder what makes them snap. I think it's like we were talking about in the article, loss of the relationship, custody issues, loss of the children and being in their lives every day, loss of finances. I mean, if they recently broke up, loss of the home to the point that he's homeless, he's stressed about money, he's not able to provide a house for his girls to come see him, he's lost his wife, the matriarchal position in the family, all of those things. I think all of those things combined is what makes them do this, honestly. Queen of Hearts, who says she's from the area, said he was declining in mental stability. She said it wasn't a sudden thing. She expected him to bring them home. That was concerning to her, but she did not think he would ever hurt the girls. Right. Veronica doesn't think he's deceased. Interesting. Sarah said, the thing for me, because I'm a nerd, is the difference between him and the others who go through these things that don't snap. That is a good point, and I would like to know some information on both sides too. That would be really interesting. Oh, no, you're good. I would like to know what the cause of death was. I don't know. This is hard for me. because my adopted father, a vet, had a flashback once and tried to hurt me and my adopted mom. He was sedated, and by the time he came to, he had no recollection of what happened. Kate, I'm going to assume, was he in the military or anything like that? I could see that very easily happening and not being meant to happen. A lot of people who went to Vietnam and thing had horrific flashbacks, even Afghanistan, and they would have flashbacks and things like that, and sometimes it would be hard to bring people to. That's what it reminded me of, but I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm glad you're okay. Donna said same thing happened a few years ago with his two kids. They were going through a divorce. He is now serving life in prison. He was located in California. I didn't see where you said the cause of death was. Hey, Katya. And then lastly, real quick, Kara said, I think he's hiding out in the woods. He has survival skills, so he knows how to live off the land. He could be slowly making his way to Canada. Very possible. Very possible. I personally think he's probably deceased, but it's possible that he is in the woods or something or hiding. I would like to know if they asked Whitney any of the places that were special to her and looked there. I'm sure they have. Travis was special ops. Oh, now that is really interesting. So that kind of makes me lean more towards maybe he is in the woods. So if he's special ops, how has he like lost all of his military benefits and things like that? PTSD, but like was he dishonorably discharged? I'd be wondering.
An attempt to locate was then sent out by Corporal Gonzalez to all regional agencies containing Decker's information along with the vehicle information. After that, Corporal Gonzalez made contact with Washington State Patrol and consulted their unit for an Amber Alert. The information at the time did not meet the threshold for an Amber Alert. On May 31st, Corporal Gonzalez contacted Sergeant Eaton at about 7 a.m. and advised him of the situation. After that conversation had occurred, Detective Brian Hewitt with the Wenatchee Police Department and Detective Sergeant Joe Eaton discussed the incident as well. And
Queen of Hearts said that he just stopped showing up for National Guard. Was that recent? I wonder, and what would happen to make him stop showing up for work? What happened at that point? Was it right after they separated? Because that's concerning as well. Cause of death was asphyxiation. Okay. Okay. So that's what's being said is the cause of death. I haven't confirmed it personally yet, but I believe it. Okay.
Detective Hewitt responded that day to continue the investigation. The family was contacted and additional information was obtained. He learned Travis and the daughters did not arrive at a planned 5K running event that morning, which was out of the ordinary to Whitney. Travis had had a recent history of attending and being present for all the daughters' events and programs. And at that point, Detective Hewitt started to reach out to some of his contacts at the state and federal levels as well. He enlisted the assistance of the FBI, and with assistance from the FBI, phone location data was obtained for Thursday through Friday, plotting locations in and around Leavenworth. Detective Hewitt then, with that information, went to Leavenworth and started focusing on the areas of Chumstick and Icicle Road and did not have any success in locating Travis or his vehicle or the girls.
Kalisa, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I'm glad everything was okay. Carol Johnson, thank you for being here, says, I live right by here and used to live in Wenatchee. I wrote it down so I'd say it right. There are only a few main freeways, but there's a lot of forest. Leavenworth is Highway 97 out that could lead north up to the Canada border. Bella said that she was concerned about him going up to Canada. Beetlebop, thank you for saying thank you. Now, I do not know if he got into drugs or if it was a mental thing. Interesting. Oh, I believe it's confirmed. I just haven't personally confirmed it, is all I meant. No offense to anybody. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I was just saying I hadn't personally confirmed it. I appreciate the information. My son-in-law was Army Special Ops helicopter pilot, 28 years. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Throughout that day, Detective Hewitt had multiple contacts again with WSP, or Washington State Patrol, and continued to provide updates and request an Amber Alert, which still the information that he provided and had obtained did not meet the threshold for the Amber Alert to be activated.
I wish they'd activated that Amber Alert.
However, an endangered and missing person alert, an EMPA, was activated by the Washington State Patrol at approximately 4:00 p.m. I want to explain a little bit that the endangered and missing person alert does generate a flyer that goes out to all the contacts through that State Patrol missing and endangered person unit. So that goes statewide. As well, the information for the alert is posted on the reader boards that I'm sure everybody's familiar with on the state highways around Washington, and those were activated here locally on the major ingress and egress highways such as Highway 2 and I-90. Also, on May 31st, Detective Hewitt had developed and communicated probable cause for custodial interference first degree, 3 counts of custodial interference first degree, and began assembling the paperwork to obtain those warrants.
So yeah, 3 counts of custodial interference makes sense at the time. Carol Johnson said, "I'm right here and I never received an Amber Alert." That's interesting. Dang, that's interesting. I've heard people say that about the Pictou County Jack and Lily Sullivan. There's not an Amber Alert, but the missing person information they never received. Hi, Kitty Moore. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. And I wish Sarasota, Florida. That's really cool. I've heard about that area. I used to know somebody who lived out there, but they moved a long time ago.
The following day, on June 1st, Detective Hewitt conducted additional follow-up and completed his initial report and request for the arrest warrants for custodial interference, which were granted and later entered into the system. The following day, which was Monday, the WPD Detective Unit met to devise a plan for the day on follow-up and submitting necessary paperwork for the warrant to ensure that had all gone through. WSP was contacted again, referenced the Amber Alert, yet we still didn't meet the criteria. The EMPA was deemed to be the best fitting alert, and one of the things that I want to share with everybody about that EMPA, because it is a, I'll say, level below or degree below the Amber Alert, it actually comes with an expiration time. And we were able to work with WSP because we did actually reach our expiration for that alert, and it, by policy, was supposed to have been pulled down. But through good communication, good cooperation, and the relationship that we've built with Washington State Patrol over a long period of time, they agreed to leave that up. And we also enlisted the cooperation of the Department of Transportation as well, who has some input and does actually help WSP run those reader boards as well. So we were able to get that cooperation, and so I want to emphasize that WSP was very good to work with, as was DOT, and we had that information up and available to the public for as long as possible, extending past what the policy said it should have been up there for.
Hey, Andy, good to see you. Tap wires, which are put in the forest and try to prevent people from crossing the borders. But if you're special, you can recognize the tap wire access at night, vision, goggles, and fire pies. Oh, wow. It is very sad, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Okay.
Also on Monday, CCSO detectives were contacted and assisted. We communicated with them and developed a plan for CCSO detectives to check the areas of Chumstick and Icicle Road as well. Myself, Sergeant Eaton, and Detective Hewitt, shortly after coordinating with CCSO units, contacted the family and requested a meeting at the Wenatchee Police Department with the family and family representatives at approximately 10 a.m. The primary intent of the meeting was to provide an update to the family and answer any questions that they had about the ongoing investigation. The meeting was very positive and focused on maintaining good communication flowing back and forth both directions to maximize the exchange of information. At about 3:47 p.m., a CCSO deputy located the vehicle up the icicle near the Rock Island campground. Sergeant Eaton and Detective Hewitt immediately responded to there to assist, and I remained at WPD to continue communication with the family and to coordinate additional law enforcement assistance from down here in the valley should it be needed. Upon arrival at the camp, upon arrival up there, the WPD units that responded connected with CCSO deputies that had responded to the scene as well. And from there, they began their ground search of the immediate area around the vehicle. The initial information that we were provided following the locating of the vehicle was that the vehicle was unoccupied, and shortly thereafter we were advised that the bodies of the 3 young girls had been located in relatively close proximity to that vehicle, and Travis was nowhere to be found. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Morrison and allow him to continue the press conference.
That is so sad. So they finally found his white truck and thought, okay, this is good. We've got him, we got the girls, everything's good. And then he's not there and the children are deceased. That is so sad and so scary. Hey, horse lover, good to see you.
Thank you, Captain. Evening. I'm Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. I appreciate all you being here.
I wanted to let y'all know that when they say WPD, they're referring to Washington Police Department. I'm going to assume that's the state police, pretty much.
I really want to make sure that I point out that it's moments like these where we see our community coming together, paying respects to those young individuals that lost their lives. I want to pay respects to Peyton, Evelyn, Olivia. Your memory will never be forgotten, and we will not stop pursuing justice for you until those that were accountable for this are found. So I do appreciate everyone being here. To follow up, because I know the Captain Chance has already touched on a lot of the topics that we've already discussed, I want to give thanks to the Wenatchee Police Department, Chief Reinfeld, Captain Miller, Captain Chance, Sergeant Eaton with the Detectives Unit that provided Chelan County Sheriff's Office with the information we needed to properly assist them. For those of you who don't know, Chelan County is a large area. We have 2,900 plus square miles. When you're talking about trying to find individuals in a geographically diverse terrain, it's difficult, but by them doing their investigation follow through over the weekend, we're able to pinpoint it in the areas of Chumstick Highway, Icicle, Tumwater Canyon. I know that many of you here from the area recognize that's still a pretty large area, but we're fortunate to have partnerships with the U.S. Forest Service that funds some of our deputies, specifically.
So, I mean, all of these things are good, but my question is, when you're going against somebody who's military special ops, do you also have that kind of influence or those kind of military officials that can help you and help you understand what his thought process is going to be in that situation? Because I would think special ops from the military would definitely be above any police force as far as logistics in wooded areas and things like that.
U.S. Forest Service deputies that are contracted with us. Our Forest Service deputy was able to go up the Icicle. We're about 18 miles up for those of you who have not been up there. And that deputy was able to locate the vehicle of the suspect. We did back off to make sure we were in compliance with Washington state law when it comes to de-escalation, controlling pace. We called additional units. I know that many members of the community were concerned, asking why we were having deputies, police officers from East Wenatchee, Douglas County, Wenatchee PD, responding at a high rate of speed. This was an important situation for us. We took it as a high priority. Once we had additional units on scene, we did secure the vehicle, determined that we were able to bring in additional resources, which was our East Cascade SWAT team that did an additional search of the surrounding area of the campsite in question until we determined that a perimeter had been established and that it was safe enough for additional detectives and the Washington State Patrol's crime lab to come in and assist us as we processed that scene. As Captain Chance already mentioned, that was prompted when we did find the bodies of the deceased. Again, our condolences and our heartfelt sympathy goes out to the Decker family. We know they're struggling, but I want them to know they're not struggling alone. We suffer as a community. It has hit many of us hard. Going on 20 years, I don't think I've had a situation that has really almost prompted tears to come up. We feel for the family, and we see as everyone else is out here, they're not suffering alone. There's a lot of people here supporting them. We were able to do an extensive processing of the scene throughout the night while we maintained perimeter security. Once that was secured, the vehicle was taken back for an additional search warrant. We brought in additional units that come in and assist us. That'd be our federal partners from U.S. Border Patrol, Homeland Security Investigations, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Marshal's Office. They did an extensive search today in addition to
So they've got border security, Homeland Security, FBI, and the Marshal's Office. Those are all good. I don't know necessarily if they would be even with special ops, but they're going to be right there underneath them if they're not. So this is all good information, all good ideas.
the Air National Guard, bringing in aviation supplies to come in, fly over there. We had drones in the air. We've been conducting a search since early this morning up until later on this afternoon. That, unfortunately, has not allowed us to locate the suspect yet, but we are not done searching. As we speak, the Marshal's Office, the FBI, they're processing leads, they're conducting follow-up, and we will not rest until Travis is located. Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing, do what you need to do, and take accountability for your actions. We're not going to go away, we're not going to rest, and we're going to make sure we find you. You will be brought to justice. Those young ladies deserve it. We will take additional questions later on, but the Sheriff's Office, the Wenatchee Police Department, East Wenatchee, Douglas County, and all of our federal partners are going to continue to work with one another to ensure that justice is served. Thank you.
Sheriff, is their dad still alive?
We are unsure if Mr. Decker is currently alive, but we are taking it that he is still out there. And again, we will not rest until we've located him, whether he's alive or he's dead. We want to make sure that he's brought back.
I don't think, even if he is alive at the moment, when he comes across them or when they do find them, I think it's going to be some type of shootout type thing, honestly. I don't think he intends to be on this earth much longer, personally. That's just my personal speculation or opinion.
The public that's keeping an eye out for him, is there anything in his records that would suggest that he is black?
Not at this time, but based off the allegations that are being made against him, we do consider him to be a threat towards the community. We also ask the community to stay out of the Icicle Gorge area for the time being until we can secure that area and ensure that he is not there. That is a big area. We're talking about the enchantments. We're talking about French Creek, going up on those spur trails. It's a popular area that we like to recreate in as well. We don't close it down or encourage people not to go there lightly, but for the best interest of the public, we'd encourage them find other places to recreate until we can ensure that that area is safe. Can you come a little bit closer, ma'am? Thank you.
Would you mind providing a little bit additional details about the scene where the girls were found?
Within reason, but I'm not going to go into a lot of details in regards to the scene because our investigative unit has requested that a lot of that information remain private until we can ensure that the information we are sharing is not going to compromise the investigation. Again, we don't want to rush. We don't want to take any chances that we would give him any opportunity to be able to beat this later on in court.
Is there belief that he could be outside this area you guys are searching right now, or is there strong belief that this is the area?
Nope. We have no leads that are showing specifically where he's at. So as we're taking it, he could be anywhere within the nation. And that's why we have our federal partners on scene helping us bring in additional resources that a medium-sized agency like Chelan County would not be able to provide. Again, this is the importance of having those partnerships with federal government and larger agencies, especially Washington State Patrol. We cannot do this without their assistance, and we're thankful for that.
Do you have any reason to believe Mr. Decker might have found a second vehicle to travel in?
That could be a possibility. Nothing's off the table. We're going to continue to actively pursue him, and we understand that he could be anywhere, and we're taking that into consideration. Thanks to the U.S. Marshal's Office that have come in and brought additional resources. Again, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Homeland Security Investigations. We are searching anywhere and everywhere for him.
Sheriff, thanks for taking our questions. Have you had any contact with Mr. Decker's family?
We have. We've been in continuous contact. I know that Captain Chance and Captain Miller have been in regular communications with them. I spoke with them yesterday and today and assured them that anything they needed from our local resources, they were available.
If I had to assume, I would say he probably did go camping in the mountains and things like that. And I mean, the training, it wouldn't leave you. That stuff's instilled in you. to the point of like, you don't even in the military when you're trained in boot camp and things like that, you don't even like they train you to where you don't necessarily think about the action. You just complete the action without necessarily thinking about it. Like it's like second nature to you. So I don't think he'd ever forget the training. I think it'd be like second nature because that's the way they train them to be. Carol says the Cascade Mountains go all the way down the west coast, and the Olympics are just across Elliott Bay or any waterway past Seattle, and you got another mountain range into Canada, the Olympics. Oh, wow. This is near Stevens Pass. It's a vast area of wilderness up here. It's not hard to lose oneself and stay put. Food is available in the mountains if one knows how. Yeah. That's stuff that's always been interesting to me. I like to I can identify me and the children actually can identify edible plants, toxic plants, the same with mushrooms and stuff, but that's just local to this area. I find that stuff interesting.
They're absolutely cooperating. They have been very supportive of our efforts, and we've reminded them we could not do this, we could not conduct our investigation and have a better understanding of Travis without their assistance. And again, we're very appreciative of what they've done so far.
Is Upper Icicle Road still physically barricaded? Is there a point where the people cannot travel further?
Our barricade will be lifted later on today. Again, we have continued to expand our search further and further down Icicle. Last I heard, we were around milepost 4. Again, we're encouraging people, do not go there. Even if our roadblock is lifted, we are not saying that the area is safe. Until we locate him, we're determining nothing's off the table.
Mr. Decker had a dog with him at certain points. Do we know if the dog was present?
So he has a dog with him or did at certain points. Blue Sapphire, thank you so much for the super chat. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that support. Thank you. Queen of Hearts said he had a truck with cover. He'd probably be able to carry all of his survival gear he needed. Yeah. There's tons of food in there. Yeah, Stevens Pass is where that Stevens Pass leads right out of Wenatchee and to Leavenworth, Ellensburg. You could bow hunt silent in these mountains. Yep. Hey, AM. I believe that. Yeah, they're talking about a dog.
We do know the dog was present and that our units, when they arrived on scene, did locate the dog.
Okay, so the dog's no longer with him.
Did he use the canines in the search?
I mean, I would think they definitely used canines in the search, but
I would check with our captain, but I am not sure if a dog's been used.
why not?
Any other evidence found, bone or anything like that?
There has been other evidence found. We really appreciate Washington State Patrol and their crime lab team for coming in, doing such a thorough search. Our investigative units with detectives, Wenatchee PD, Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Again, we did not hustle this. We went through, we were methodical.
Good morning, these nuts. Good to see you.
With it, and we made sure to cover every single thing possible because we recognize the weight of this situation.
Sheriff, a question from our newsroom right now. Do you know if any of Mr. Decker's family members are missing his dad, perhaps?
We've been in communication with several members of Mr. Decker's family. We know that they've also been willing to cooperate with us. I believe his dad's flying in to talk with us and work with us a little bit further. We appreciate their cooperation as well.
So his dad is not missing?
At this time, I'm not aware of his father being missing or any other members of his family missing. Again, that's just based off the information I currently have. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We know that our coroner's office, that'd be the Chelan County's coroner's office, is going through that process and will continue to do their portion of the investigation as well. I won't speak on that half.
Have the girls been brought physically home?
They are still being cared for by the Chelan County Coroner's Office.
Was there any sign of any other vehicles in the area?
At this time, we have not gotten an update for what additional information has been obtained today. We just know the investigation is ongoing. We'll conclude it at that. Appreciate it. We will have another press conference tomorrow. I believe that's going to be at 1800 hours. Again, we appreciate everyone being out here showing support for the family. I can tell you they do appreciate all of you being here. We spoke with them. This is the kind of support you like to see from our county. It really represents what Chelan County is all about. And again, the family thanks you for that. And any information that you have that could assist us with the investigation, please continue to bring that information in. We do have the FBI, in addition to members of the Wenatchee Police Department, Chelan County Sheriff's Office, that is working leads, following up on them actively, and we have analysts going through data online as well. We are taking this serious, and we'll continue to do what we can to assist.
Okay, I'm going to click on this one, but we're
So tell me
going to
about your involvement.
wait because that's going to tell us why an Amber Alert was not issued. So I've got that pulled up. Kara sent me an article that's going to give us some more information so about the cause of death and things like that. So this is from the Daily Mail, and it reads, sinister military record of, quote, killer, unquote, father Travis Decker wanted for murdering his 3 girls as cops scour woods in manhunt. A Washington father suspected of fatally suffocating his 3 little girls has an extensive military background and served in Afghanistan. The Daily Mail has learned as police warned the public not to approach him during their ongoing manhunt. Travis Decker, I wanted to make sure y'all could see it. Okay. Lordy have mercy. Okay. Travis Decker, 32, is accused of killing his daughters, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia Decker, 5, whose bodies were found at a campsite in Leavenworth after he failed to return them to their mother in Wenatchee following a scheduled 3-hour visit. As authorities search for Decker, who is believed to be mentally unstable, they warned locals he could be dangerous due to his military background. Decker joined the Army in 2013, according to the Associated Press. He served in Afghanistan before transferring to the Washington National Guard in 2021. Karina Sheargan, communications director for the Washington Military Department, confirmed to the Daily Mail. He was a full-time member of the Guard until 2023 or 2024 when he switched to part-time. Decker stopped attending mandatory monthly drills a little over a year ago, and the Guard was in the process of a disciplinary discharge. He likely has advanced combat training and was an airborne paratrooper who earned the elite rank of Ranger, indicating he would have excellent wilderness and survival skills. Fox 13 Seattle reported, citing social media posts. It is unknown if the veteran is currently armed, but local law enforcement cautioned people from approaching him. I wonder what happened to make him stop going. Here's a picture of him, and under the picture it says, Travis Decker, 32, is accused of killing his daughters, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia Decker, who was 5, after he failed to return them back to their mother following a scheduled 3-hour visit in Washington on Friday. Look at the girls. Oh, my goodness. Chelan County Sheriff's Office deputies found the girls' bodies about 75 to 100 yards from Decker's truck at a campsite. Police believe the girls died from asphyxiation and reported that their wrists were zip-tied, court documents said. So we need to pull the court documents. Due to safety concerns, do not attempt to contact or approach Decker, police said. Quote, this is an absolute tragedy, unquote. The military spokeswoman told the Associated Press, quote, we are mourning along with the community. Authorities swarmed the Rock Island campground on Monday evening after finding Decker's truck. Chelan County Sheriff's Office deputies found the girls' bodies about 75 to 100 yards from the truck. Police believe the girls died from asphyxiation and reported that their wrists were zip-tied, court documents said. Decker's truck also had 2 bloody handprints on the tailgate. Inside were personal items including blankets, food, car seats, and a wallet on the center console. The campground also showed signs of recent activity with a tent and a cooler located a short distance away, but Decker was nowhere to be found. The girls' mother, Whitney Decker, who is divorced from the veteran, told police that he had picked the girls up around 5 p.m. but had not returned them by 8 p.m., and his phone went straight to voicemail, court documents said. Detectives said she expressed concern because Decker reportedly has never done this before and is currently experiencing some mental health issues. So this is a map. This is Wenatchee, Travis Decker did not return his daughter's home Friday, May 30th at 9:45, approximately 38 miles to the Waffles West. Sorry. uh, on Monday, June 2nd at 3:45 p.m., Decker's car was located. Police found the bodies of his girls nearby. That's Rock Island Campground at Wenatchee National Forest. And it says Decker's truck had 2 bloody handprints on the tailgate, and inside were personal items including blankets, food, car seat, and a wallet on the center console. And there is another picture of him, I'm assuming from the DMV. Hey, AKA, good to see you. Oh, Miss Scorpio, good to see you, and thank you so much for the gifted membership. Trying to scroll up. Oh, it's not showing up. Well, I can't tell who that went to, but thank you so much for gifting a membership. I really appreciate that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I will grab the crazy train to pick the lucky recipient up on the way to Speculation Station. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so very much. He was very involved in the girls' activities. That's what they were saying in the press conference. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. Somebody said he was found dead. Hey, Connie. I'm not sure. I would think American, considering he was in the Army. If y'all hear anything or you're able to find anything on him, like breaking or whatever, if you let me know, I'll try to pull it up. Oh, there's 12. The girl's mother said that at times he would have the girls sleep at an armory while he was in the National Guard, despite her objections. The girl's mother said they had a good relationship with Decker and enjoyed their time with him, and noted that he had never failed to return the girls home before. Look. Oh my goodness. Whitney said when Decker went to pick up the girls for a scheduled 3-hour visit on Friday, he was, quote, quieter than usual, unquote, which was, quote, out of character, unquote, for him. When Decker failed to return with the girls that night, Whitney reported them missing. Look, that is really, my daughter, I love like the prairie style dresses, the one in the middle. My daughter had a dress just like that, but it was yellow. I used to put it on her all the time. Exactly the same, except it was like a pale yellow color. Wow. Whitney also stated in September divorce proceedings that had been, quote, okay. Whitney also stated in September divorce proceedings that he had been, quote, struggling to maintain stability, unquote, since they were separated, and it was beginning to affect their daughters. So again, going back to what we were talking about with the familicide, if I'm probably saying that wrong, these things stress it. In September divorce proceedings, so it's just been September that they have actually finalized the divorce. They had been separated before that, obviously. I think you usually have to be separated for 6 months to a year before you can file divorce proceedings. So he's losing his wife. He's losing his matriarchal position in the family. He's losing his house. He lost his job. I mean, all of these things, stressors, main triggers, and things like that. And it's unfortunately one of the reasons why parents, fathers specifically, do these type of things. Statistically. Law enforcement is asking the public to help find the father of 3, but advised locals not to approach him. They're so precious. Travis Decker, 32, is accused of killing his daughters, Peyton, 9, Evelyn, 8, and Olivia, 5, after he failed to return them back to their mother following a scheduled 3-hour visit in Washington on Friday. Chelan County Sheriff's Office deputy found the girls' bodies about 75 to 100 yards from Decker's truck at a campsite. Police believe the girls died from asphyxiation and reported that their wrists were zip-tied, court documents said. I love that picture of them. It's so precious. Okay. Well, it shows that I'm assuming Wenatchee or the campsite is a little bit west of like the middle of the state. The girls' bodies were found approximately 38 miles from their mother's home. Decker is still on the run. Authorities warn locals he could be dangerous due to his military training. Okay. So, going back to the last sentence we read of the article, detectives said she expressed concern because Decker reportedly has never done this before and is currently experiencing some mental health issues. She also told law enforcement officials that Decker was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Oh my goodness, we're going to look that up. And believes he did not take medication for the condition, according to court documents. The father of 3 was supposed to seek mental health treatment and anger management counseling as part of a parenting plan, but there was no sign he has followed through with the plan, which he refused to sign, the court documents show. Still, Whitney told police she did not believe her ex was dangerous, and he said he loved his daughters. She said the girls had a good relationship with Decker and enjoyed their time with him, and noted he had never failed to return the girls before, according to a police affidavit. She said that when Decker went to pick the girls up for a scheduled 3-hour visit on Friday, he was, quote, quieter than usual, which was out of character for him. He had also allegedly been talking about getting rid of his dog due to housing and financial struggles. When Decker failed to return the girls that night, Whitney reported them missing. Quote, what prompted her to call us was that he was late returning the girls and had not communicated to her that he was going to be late, which was his typical fashion. And so this was out of the ordinary, unquote, Captain Brian Chance said. Washington State Patrol was contacted Friday night to request an Amber Alert, but it did not meet the required criteria, Wenatchee police said. The lacking criteria was suspected abduction and imminent peril of death or serious injury, said Chris Loftus, Director of Public Affairs for the State Patrol. Quote, in this case, it was a parent with custodial privileges and the children had not been returned home on time. But that's a rather common occurrence and not something where you just automatically assume abduction, he said. He added that there was no indication that Decker would harm them. Quote, we're people too, you know, so the loss of a child, the loss of 2 children, the loss of 3 children is devastating, Loftus said. Everybody always looks to how we can improve. The following day, Wenatchee detectives contacted the patrol with additional information that led to the issuance of an Endangered Missing Person Alert, or EMPA. State police later dropped the EMPA on Monday evening without releasing a public reason. The following day, Wenatchee Police Department announced the girls' deaths. Hey, Regina. Kyron Harmon. Yeah, we talked about him not long ago. I heard they were also renewing the search for Madeline McCain. Hey, Amy. Missing 15 years today. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the heartache and agony that mother is feeling is so tragic. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, borderline personality disorder. I think that might play a significant role on top of all the stress. There's the picture of her in the soccer and her with her Switch game, Luigi's Mansion 2. All the pictures we just looked at. She said at times he would have the girls sleep in an armory while he was in the National Guard, despite her objections, according to the Seattle Times. She also said Decker was prone to outbursts and would come into her house yelling for the girls, whom he would sometimes fail to pick up after promising to do so. In one instance, Whitney wrote that her youngest daughter, Olivia, called her crying during a visit with Decker and said she could not find her father, before Evelyn came home with welts between her legs. Quote, I did not want to keep Travis from the girls at all, unquote, Whitney wrote in the court filing. Quote, to the contrary, I have bent over backwards to facilitate that relationship. Quote, but I cannot have our girls staying in what is essentially a homeless shelter at times unsupervised with dozens of strange men, or staying in a tent or living in his truck with him, both in extreme temperatures and unknown areas for their safety. The girls' maternal grandmother similarly wrote that Deckard would drop off the girls at inconsistent times, and they would sometimes be upset or crying when they returned home. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Abellis. And Indy. Quote, they are all happy, smart, well adjusted girls, with the exception of when Travis brings them back to me after his visitations, unquote, she wrote, according to the Seattle Times. On Tuesday, a judge issued a warrant for Decker's arrest and ordered he to be held without bail. Look, we didn't see these. I can't click on them. She's got awards. She's got a stitch. It looks like she painted him. Decker is described as a 5'8", 190 pounds, with black hair worn in a ponytail and brown eyes. He is charged with three counts of first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe was set up for Whitney, has raised nearly $366,000 as of Wednesday morning. These girls were a true light in this world, and it is a darker place without them. I will miss seeing their sweet little faces. A note on the fundraising page read. Quote, send Whitney all of our prayers, love, and support. Take some time today to tell someone you love them. My God. Okay. Real quick, I wanted to look up borderline personality disorder so we could understand what that is, and then try to find some of these court documents. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my search page. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk while I'm typing. Borderline personality disorder, symptoms and causes from the Mayo Clinic. That's a good site. Okay, overview. Borderline personality disorder is a mental health condition that affects the way people feel about themselves and others, making it hard to function in everyday life. It includes a pattern of unstable, intense relationships, as well as impulsiveness and an unhealthy way of seeing themselves. Impulsiveness involves having extreme emotions and acting or doing things without thinking about them first. Sounds like, yeah, maybe. Veronica said, why are people doing this to their kids? Is it more frequent lately, or is it that with the media and internet we get to know more about what goes on in the world, and it seems it's more recurrent? I've questioned that about all of this. Homicides, pedophiles, all of it. I question if it's always been this way or if it's because we have the media now. I think it's a combination of both. I think the introduction of the internet and devices and things like that have made us a lot more desensitized to things, therefore making people commit these horrific homicides. And because they're already so desensitized to things, the video games and things like that. And I think we hear about it more because we have the ability to see what's going on all the way around the world in a millisecond. Are on NCW Life. Okay, I'll check that. That would be good because I wouldn't have to pay for them. I did have a video from them, so I'll definitely check that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Queen of Hearts. Nessa said, I'm looking into more areas a few months. He's talking about marriage. I'm not quite there yet. Aw, congratulations. Carol said it's more frequent and we're hearing about it more, especially after the worldwide lockdown. There was a lot of isolation, a lot of unemployment, people trapped inside causing rage. I agree. Okay, continuing reading. People with borderline personality disorder have a strong fear of abandonment or being left alone. Good God Almighty. So he's scared of abandonment or being left alone, and that's what happened due to the divorce and and he lost his 3 girls. He's having extreme emotions and acting or doing things without thinking about them first, like committing homicide on his offspring, on his children. It continues, even though they want to have loving and lasting relationships, the fear of being abandoned often leads to mood swing and anger. It also leads to impulsiveness and self injury that may push others away. Borderline personality disorder usually begins in early adulthood. The condition is most serious in young adulthood. Mood swings, anger, and impulsiveness often get better with age, but the main issue of self image and fear of being abandoned, as well as relationship issues, go on. Symptoms, borderline personality. Oh, hold on. That was important, actually. If you have borderline personality disorder, know that many people with this condition get better with treatment. They can learn to live stable, more fulfilling lives. If you have borderline personality disorder or you're going through any kind of mental illness, please seek help. It's easy to find online. The same thing with domestic violence. I will look up the links and try to drop them in the description box. Symptoms, borderline personality disorder affects how you feel about yourself, relate to others, and behave. Symptoms may include a strong fear of abandonment. This includes going to extreme measures so you're not separated or rejected, even if these fears are made up. A pattern of unstable, intense relationships, such as believing someone is perfect one moment and then suddenly believing the person doesn't care enough or is cruel. Quick changes in how you see yourself. This includes shifting goals and values, as well as seeing yourself as bad or as if you don't exist. Periods of stress-related paranoia and loss of contact with reality. These periods can last from a few minutes to a few hours. Impulsive and risky behaviors such as gambling, dangerous driving, unsafe sex, spending sprees, binge eating, drug misuse, or sabotaging success by suddenly quitting a job or ending a positive relationship. Threats of suicide or self injury, often in response to fears of separation or rejection. Wide mood swings that last from a few hours to a few days. These mood swings can include periods of being very happy, irritable, or anxious, or feeling shame. Ongoing feelings of emptiness, inappropriate strong anger, such as losing your temper often, being sarcastic or bitter, or physically fighting. Here we go. If you're having thoughts about hurting yourself, call 911, or you can also contact the unaliving hotline in the U.S. Call or text 988 to reach the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. U.S. veterans or service members who are in crisis can call 988 and then press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line, or text 838-255 or chat online. There's also a phone number. It is 1-888-628-9454 for toll free. Okay, so I'm going to look up this website that you so kindly shared with me real quick to see if we can pull the court documents that way. If we can't, I think I might be able to get them from the court's website. So, NCWLIFE. Okay. Okay, so this talks about the court records. Hold on, I'll start reading it and see if it gives us access to them. Hey, QT. Good to see you. Blue says, always examine one's childhood upbringing or organic. Yes. Okay. I was trying to scroll through and see if it gives me a link real quick. There's a link to the GoFundMe and to set up to send tips. All right. I'm going to read this. Actually, it says I can play it, so we'll play it and then I'll see what I can find as far as the documents.
This article contains descriptions of fatal violence against children.
Let me know if y'all can't hear it being read.
Leavenworth, police affidavits filed in Chelan County Court allege 3 Wenatchee girls died in a wooded campsite at the hands of their own father, now a fugitive charged with murder. Sisters Olivia, 5, Evelyn, 8, and Peyton Decker, 9, were students at Lincoln Elementary in Wenatchee, ranging from kindergarten to 3rd grade. The girls' bodies were found Monday afternoon by Chelan County Sheriff's deputies near Rock Island Campground, off Icicle Road about 17 miles west of Leavenworth. Their father, Travis Caleb Decker, 32, remains at large and was charged Tuesday in Chelan County Superior Court with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 of first-degree kidnapping. Decker took his children on Friday for a scheduled 3-hour custodial visit, but did not return them to their mother by 8 p.m. as agreed. She contacted Wenatchee police 90 minutes later, and a weekend of searching followed. A sheriff's deputy found Decker's white 2017 GMC Sierra about 3:56 p.m. Monday, parked and empty near Rock Island Campground. Police searchers then found the girls' bodies about 75 to 100 yards away down a small embankment. According to a police court affidavit, the girls' wrists appeared to have been zip-tied and their heads hooded with plastic bags. They are believed to have died from asphyxiation. They were wearing the same clothing they had on when they left their mother's home. Police had first sought and received a warrant Monday to arrest Decker on charges of custodial interference. That warrant was quashed Tuesday and superseded by the murder charges. Police have asked for community assistance in locating Decker. He is 5 feet 8 inches tall, with black hair and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a light-colored shirt and dark shorts. Anyone seeing him is urged to call 911 immediately, and not make contact with him. Tips may also be submitted online. Decker was without a permanent home and living in his truck, as well as at campsites and motels. His family told police he had been dealing with mental health challenges. Chelan County Undersheriff Dan Osmond said ground search teams continue to look for Decker in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Partners in the search include the FBI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Border Patrol. Supporters of the girl's family have started a GoFundMe page to raise money for expenses and legal costs related to the tragedy.
Okay, I'm going to click on the GoFundMe link so I can show you guys that. And that way you'll know where to go donate if you would like to do so. I'm going to try to donate like 20 bucks if I can. So this is Support Whitney Decker, and it's got her and the girls. So far, $477,144 has been raised of a $550,000 goal, and there has been 8,800 donations. It reads, this fundraiser is to support Whitney Decker with expenses and legal costs following the tragic loss of her 3 daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. On May 30th, the girls were reported missing after a scheduled visitation with their father. We are heartbroken to share that the girls have since passed. Their light touched so many, and the pain of this loss is immeasurable. I've known Whitney for years. Okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't muted. Well, I mean, QT, you don't think like, it's hard because you want the father to be in their lives. I've dealt with that myself. I wanted my daughter's father to be in her life so bad that I didn't care. I mean, I dealt with a bunch of things that were just not good for her, and I finally realized that it was better for him not to be in her life than to deal with the things he was doing to me. But regardless, she even talked about in a news article that she bent over backwards to make sure that he was a part of their life. He went to all of the events and supported them so well. I'm sure she never ever thought that he would do this. Abella says, this reminds me of the case of Peter Keller in Washington State, also in 2012. It's a chilling story. Keller filmed his preparations. He built a fully functional cave in the woods. Oh my goodness. The Jersey lady won. I'm not sure what legal expenses. I was wondering that myself, and it's nice to see you. Yeah, I'm curious about it too. The borderline personality disorder, I think, plays a role. Okay, continuing. I've known Whitney for years. We're both dance moms and theater friends. We originally met through Short Shakespeareans, where I serve as the music director and had the privilege of teaching Whitney's girls over the past few years. We spent this year as dance moms together with my daughter Maisie and Whitney's daughter Evelyn, both performing on the Fabulous Feet Dance Rockstars team. Fund, Funds raised will go directly to Whitney to help cover final expenses, support time off from work, and give her space to heal without financial pressure. In light of the overwhelming response, I want to clarify that this is the only official GoFundMe fundraiser approved by Whitney and created with her full knowledge and consent. All donations made here will go directly to Whitney to support her needs during this time. There is no set goal. Anything you are able to contribute is deeply appreciated. Please respect Whitney's privacy at this time. She is not open to media contact, and future updates from her or the family will be shared here. To follow the latest confirmed news, please visit this local affiliate story, which is from Fox 13 Seattle, What We Know About the Decker Girls. Thank you for keeping Whitney and her girls in your hearts. And I think it shows the pictures that we saw on the other page. They're so precious. Oh my goodness. Yep. So I'll click this link just so we have it up and we can read about it. I will. How do I share? Oh, there is an update. So it says yesterday by Amy Edwards, the organizer. It is with a very heavy heart that I share the passing of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. These girls were a true light in this world, and it is a darker place without them. I will miss seeing their sweet little faces. I am upping the goal amount of this fundraiser so Whitney can take time off, care for herself, and cover the final expenses of the girls without taking a financial hit. Please donate if you can. Every little bit helps. Send Whitney all your prayers, love, and support. Take some time today to tell someone you love them. And here, I can share. I will drop that if anybody wants it. Maybe, if it'll show up. I think it showed up. That's their GoFundMe. Somebody said allegedly. Oh, creepy AF. I thought it said AS. Okay. They were beautiful kids. Now I'm going to try to pull up this website. Oh, I got too many tabs. Okay, I just went on. Oh, Lordy. Hold on just a minute. Okay, I went to Google, and I know it's Chelan, I think is how it's pronounced. It's Chelan County in Wenatchee, Washington. So Wenatchee. I typed in Wenatchee, Chelan County Court Document Search, and right here we have Chelan County Public Records, Wenatchee Public Records Lookup. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so here, this one. I don't need North Carolina. Thank you. I need Chelan. Oh, I think that's an advertisement. Okay, wait. Let's go back to this page. Or they're trying to do it for my state. So that is an advertisement, and I should have known because it's called Public Records Info. Here we have County of Chelan, Superior Court Clerk, Chelan County, Washington. And then on courtrecords.com, I think that's another advertisement. So I'm going to try County of Chelan first. And it reads, document online record search, records maintained by clerk, search by name or case number, purchase a court document. So I'm going to click search by name or case number. We're going to accept and continue. Okay. Oh, right here it says person search. So let's click that. Now we know his first name is Travis. His last name is Decker. And I have his middle name is Caleb. I'm going to put a C. Sometime if you put the whole middle name, it don't pull it up. Click I am not a robot. Oh, Lordy, we got to do the bicycles thing. Okay. Now we got to do a motorcycle. Why is that kid so close to that motorcycle? Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey, Darlene. Yes, hit live chat for all chat. It is a very heartbreaking case. Carol said, I'm grateful to the people who are donating to the GoFundMe. This is a very legitimate cause. I don't know if this poor woman will ever be able to go back to work. Obviously, she won't heal fully ever. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I hate the captures too. Yeah, I'm going to donate after the live. I just don't want to put out my information on the live stream. All right, so we got Chelan County Superior Court from June 2nd of 2025. That's the one we want, but I don't know how to click on it. But we do get a case number. When you see that, you want to write that down because sometimes you have to search by the actual case number. So the case number for number 1 right here, Chelan County Superior Court, name Decker Travis C. as the defendant, and it is from yesterday, or Tuesday, June 2nd of 2025. Case number is 251001548. That will make your search easier. This one says judgment available. So we got one from Wenatchee Violations Bureau, Chelan District Court, King District Court, Travis Charles. So we don't need Travis Charles. This is the last one, and there's a judgment available. This has been an error. Your search is timed out. I don't know why. Hope they haven't hidden it. Okay, so I'm gonna write down these case numbers real quick. So this first one is for Chelan County from 6/2/25. Then we got WENATCHEE VIOLATIONS BUREAU from 5/28/25. And that is case number 5A049445. And we have Chile from 2/19/25. And that is case number CY250239. And then Chelan Superior. So if you're doing this yourself, you want to write all this down because, like I said, sometimes you have to have the actual case number. That one was from November 14th of 2022. And it is 223003764. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. And there was one that said court record search. So I'm going to close this out. Oh yeah, purchase a court document. That's what we want. So now that we have all the case numbers, we're going to go back to this. I'm going to try to pull it this way. Click here to order documents for a fee, no certified copy, 25 cents per page plus $1 service fee. So, I don't know what kind of records we want. Well, let's go back to the other page. Let me see what y'all are saying, because y'all might be telling me how to do it, and I just ain't seen it yet. Abellis, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. Good gracious. I really appreciate that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. How sweet and amazing. Thank you. Y'all are so awesome. I love y'all so much. Thank you. Those went to Bat Brat, Samantha N, Junie, Law Nerd JM, Deanna Gibbons, Kelly Renee, TXRN, Trish, Not Sorry, Nana Boo Boo, Got the Memo, A Story to Tell, Countess Powers, Snacks, Michelle, The Valian Brown, Sunshine Susie Q, Crystal, Alaskan Orca, and it's great. If you were gifted from Abellis and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Abellis thank you, and I will grab the Polar Express to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Abellis. You're so sweet. Welcome, Gigi Degaff, Dilligaff, or Gigi Degaff. Salty. Salty. Aw. She is, isn't she? What did Salty say? There you are. I'm craving a chocolate chip cookie or brownies. Can't believe I did get ingredients this morning, but tomorrow I'm baking. Well, you enjoy that. Hey, Darlene, I've been gone a while. Sometimes I have to take a break from these things. Oh, I completely understand. Thank you for being here. Have a good day, Indy, sweetheart. That was so kind, wasn't it, Kate? Gigi, I'm salty. Tom, good, nice to see you. Tom says, Justin saying these fathers that unalive their own children, hopefully he is caught and brought to justice. I hope so as well. So, I mean, I would think it would be this. Let's do case search. Understanding the structure of the Washington state court system. So let's do district court. We'll do case number. So it's for Chelan County. A, B, C. All right, let's start with the first case number, which is 251-001-548. Now, if you don't have the case number, you could do it by name. You were viewing a list of cases. No records found. All right. So let's go by name. Civil criminal felony. Let's look at that one. Filed after January 1st. Travis Decker. Okay, what's going on here? Superior Court. Let's try that. Again, no records found. Appellate courts? What the crap? Well, I don't know how to find it. Wanted to see if that W one was in here. Wenatchee. It's not. Did they pull all his records? Because that one said judgment available, but it wouldn't let me click on it. Let me see if anything comes up for Whitney, because the divorce proceedings might be in her name. W. Hitney. Nope. Person search. Try that. See, that comes up, but I can't click on anything. There may be docket information available. Docket information is not available for municipal and district court cases. Click on a highlighted name to get docket information for the case. The court record must be contracted for verification and any further information. Click here for a court directory. It won't let me click on it. Oh, I'm about to make a phone call. See, when I click judgment available, go back and try a few minutes or try searching again. All right. Okay, Cara, I appreciate your help, love. Hey, Chow. I've been listening. I always forget what AFK means. And 1, thank you, Abellis, for your generosity. 2, this is a great radio. And 3, I'm pretty sure Veronica needs to allow gifts on YouTube. Yes. Hey, Victoria, good to see you. Is there a new update? Not that I'm aware of, sweetheart. Just that they were found asphyxiated and wrist zip tied. They haven't found him yet that I know of. So before we move on and try to find records later, try this one. I accept the conditions. Okay, let's try this. Enter the name, last name, and first name like sparks kind of showing. All right, when you do this, if you're doing this yourself, type in the last name. Don't put a space, put a comma immediately after the last name, then put a space, type in the first name. You have to make sure you do that like every single time or it won't work. Travis Decker, Travis C. Decker, Travis C. Decker. I'm going to click all, done. Let's see. Now, I don't know if this is him or not, but there's a notice of lien. Okay. Division of Child Support from Tacoma, Washington. Chelan County, Washington from May 16th, 2024. Got one for the 28th of 2025 at 1:19 p.m. Child Support Enforcement, or DSHS. State of Washington Department of Social and Health Services, Division of Child Support, notice of lien to Travis C. Decker. It marks out the date of birth. Child support payments not paid when due are judgments and accurate to the lien amount. DSHS claims that the debtor named above owes past due child support. The Division of Child Support, DCS, files a lien in the amount of $13,298 in Chelan County, all real and personal property of the debtor named above except tribal trust property, on May 13th, 2024. Okay. So that could, or that might be him, or it might not be him. We can't, I'm not going to verify. I think it would be him, but I can't personally verify it at the time. This would be him, this next one with Travis Decker and Whitney Decker. So I'll share that while I grab this. Chow Young, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. So sweet and supportive. Those went to Sharon Belko, the other Brooke, always on empty 72, your dog's favorite trainer, and Terry D. And then you come through and gifted another one, and that went to Kimmy Doodles. If you were gifted from Chow and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Chow thank you, and I will grab the crazy train to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much, Chow. That was so sweet of you. Really appreciate it. Oh, stop. It'll come when it's supposed to come. Appreciate you so much. Aw. Okay, was archived on the 2nd, which tells me it's him, and they archived it because of the current case. Okay, so that's the first one we were looking up, which is from the 2nd. Thank you. Thank you, Cara. Queen of Hearts said the majority of the population is in Seattle. The I-5 corridor is only about a third of the state. We cannot get the vote to swing our way because of Seattle. Just saying, no DP. That's how these guys are, unfortunately. It's the playbook. Okay, we're gonna look at this document because I know that this is definitely him because it's him and Whitney. But first, my geese have been going off for a minute, so I'm gonna check them real quick. So hold on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. They needed some food. I fed them right before I started the live. They're eating a lot, which is good. Away from the keyboard. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry for the wait. They were in there going off because they needed some food. Whew. All right. Let me try to get close enough to my screen to see this. This is real estate excise tax exempt from the Chilean County Treasurer. The information contained in this box section is for recording purposes only, RCW 3618 and RCW 654, and is not to be relied upon for any other purpose and shall not affect the intent of any warranty contained in the document itself. Grantor is Travis Decker. Grantee is Whitney Decker. Reference number of documents assigned or released is not applicable. Gives an address. Park View, Lot 13, Chilean County. Quiet claim deed. The grantor, Travis Decker, for and in consideration of property settlement agreement in Chilean County, Washington divorce proceedings under Superior Court case number, let me write this down real quick. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. SUPERIOR. Superior Court case number 22-3-00376-04. Okay, so now we have the divorce proceedings claim number. Conveys and quiet claims to grantee Whitney Decker all of grantor's interest in the following described real estate situate in Chilean County, Washington, Lot 13, Parkview, addition to Wenatchee, Chilean County. I certify or have satisfactory evidence that Travis Decker is the person who appeared before me, and he acknowledged that he signed this instrument and his free and voluntary act for the uses and purposes mentioned in the instrument. So he gave her the property, and now he's homeless. I mean, that could be a big point of contention. I don't know what quiet claim deed is, but they're all about lot 13. So the next three are on the same date. This one's 18 pages, but it's about the property. Deed of trust from the bank. Okay, borrower is the trustee under the security instrument North Cascades Bank, division of Glacier Bank. Lender is a corporation under the laws of Montana. Trustee, Northern Meridian, title and escrow. So, is this where they signed for the property? I mean, it's talking about a loan number. I'm assuming it's about the property. On this day, personally appeared before me Travis. Okay, Travis C. Decker and Whitney D. Decker, and it's marked out and initialed, and Troy S. Decker and Rachel M. Decker, and that's marked out and initialed, to me known to be the individual parties described in and who executed within the foregoing instrument. I acknowledge that he, she, they signed the same as him, her, their free and voluntary act and deed for the uses and purposes therein mentioned. So this is just going to be like property or like, tax information. Yeah, they got a loan to buy the property. That's what I'm assuming that is. Okay. So, I mean, this is pretty much just property information because they all say Park View Lot 13. I don't think that's real important right now, but that was some court records that we found. I'm going to see if we can find any more before we continue on to videos. Let's try this one. That's the same one. Let's do a simple search. So this is about like property, I suppose. Grantor and grantee search official records or documents. I want court documents. Perform a combined book type, number, and page. Perform a legal description search on official records and documents. Let's try that. Oh, no. So that's all like property records. Let's see if we can find criminal records. Wenatchee, Chilean County criminal. Still brings me to that same name and case search, Washington courts. You can use our site to search for a case or search for a person. Let's search for a case since we wrote all of the case numbers down. When doing case searches for the following superior courts, Chilean, please use this link. Okay, we did have one from King, but I want to see the divorce documents, which was Chilean. So we're going to click on this. We can go back and do the other ones. Let's try smart search. Search for records. Enter a record number or name last first. I'm going to try the record number first, and then if that doesn't work, we'll try the last name. 22-3-00 376 376-04. There it is. Filed November 14th of 2022, dissolution of marriage with children for Chelan County, Travis Caleb Decker. Okay. Hey, law nerd. Chelan? Chelan. It is, because they were saying it. Let me write that down, because I wrote Wenatchee down, so I could say that right. Okay. Shuhloan. Shalom. Shalom. Okay. Wonder if he has a record of domestic violence. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Nice to meet you, law nerd. All right. Travis Decker, it marks out his date of birth. He's the respondent, and the petitioner was Whitney Danielle Decker. Lead attorney was Cozart. Inactive attorneys was a pro se attorney. Okay, disposition of events. On March 7th of 2023, there was a judgment signed on March 7th of 2023, awarded to Whitney Decker. Okay, here's all of the documents. We need to go down to the bottom. There has been a protection order. Oh no, that's for 9 a.m. on the 10th. There's a protection order that's been put in place. Oh wow, there's new ones. What is this one? Oh, of course it's not going to let me click on it. But yesterday there was a petition for order of protection, temporary order for protection, order to surrender weapons, law enforcement and confidential information form, and then those were all yesterday. And then on June 10th of 2025, they're going to have a hearing for a protection order at 9 a.m. This was an order to modify a parenting plan that was entered October 22nd of 2024 at 4 p.m. September 27th of 2024. Here, let's go back up because I went the wrong way. Okay. So case information covers sheet, but it won't let me click on any of it. Was November 14th of 2022, petition for dissolution of their marriage. Would have been the 14th. There was a summon, a joinder, a declaration about public assistance, proposed parenting plan, declaration in support of parenting plan, proposed order of support, child support worksheet proposed, financial declaration of petitioner, sealed financial source cover, and temporary order, which was automatic, confidential information form, sealed financial source documents, which was pay stubs, were all on November 14th of 2022. November 28th, there was a letter from the court to the parties. December 22nd of 2022, notice of appearance. January 23rd of 2023, there was a notice of change of address, confirmation of a parenting class from the mom, confirmation of a parenting class from the dad, all on the 23rd of January 2023. On February 1st of 2023, there was an affidavit, declaration, certificate, confirmation of service, note for calendar, sealed confidential reports and cover sheets, sealed confidential reports and cover sheets from JABS or GIS search report. Then on the 7th, the dissolution was at 1:30. Findings of facts and conclusions of law, decree of dissolution, parenting plan, final order, order for support, child support worksheet, uncontested resolution hearing, case resolution, uncontested resolution, And then September 20th of 2024, case information cover sheet, petition, motion to modify parenting plan and custody order, summons, motion for adequate cause decision, proposed order findings, motion for temporary order, proposed order findings, proposed parenting plans, declaration affidavit for Whitney Decker and Rhonda Wilkinson, sealed personal health care records cover sheet, sealed personal health care records cover sheet for health records, notice of hearing, confidential information form, return of service, was on the 23rd. The 25th of September 2024, motion for temporary order, proposed parenting plan. On the 27th, there was an adequate cause. That was a temporary order. Order adequate cause granted, temporary family law order, parenting plan temporary, motion hearing. October 22nd of 2024, they modified the parenting plan. Hearing canceled, plaintiff prosecution requested. And then yesterday was the petition for order of protection, temporary order for protection, order to surrender weapons, law enforcement and confidential information form. And they're having a hearing on the protection order at 9 a.m. on the 10th. So that's all interesting. Oh, thank y'all for subbing up to QT Card Designs. I'll do that after the live. I'll have to search you and find you. Carol said, oh, I know I'm right. Oh, I know I'm right that she is in danger, or at least she has every belief that she very well could be in danger. This is such a horrific, abhorrent event. And mental health-wise, history, best clue. Yeah. Did you see it? Plunder. No, I didn't. I'll look at it. History is generally the best indicator of future when it comes to an individual's behavior, not just someone in mental health disorders, but everyone. We tend to do what we did. I'll look and see if I can pull something up. Okay, hold on. We've got this video that might give us some information. It's titled, What We Know About Decker Girls, 3 Missing Washington Sisters Found Deceased. So let's play this. Why is there no sound?
That's right, AJ. As this manhunt continues for Travis Decker, we're hearing a lot about Travis Decker's extensive military background and have actually confirmed that he is, in fact, a member of Washington's National Guard. This comes after he transferred from the Army's active duty in 2021. So his experience, his knowledge of survival skills out in the wilderness is why officials are urging you not to approach if you do see him. But again, I want to show you the pictures of Travis Decker. Keep an eye out. This is exactly who officials are looking for. He's a 32-year-old father, about 5'8", weighs about 190 pounds.
Those of you in the area, I want you to look at him, and I want you to think about how he would look with possibly a shaved head and no facial hair, because he has probably altered his appearance. Think about him with blonde hair, red hair, clean shaven, all of the things. Mainly the eyes, the nose. Probably when he's not smiling. Like, imagine him without the facial hair, the eyes, the nose, things like that, because he's going to have altered his appearance, in my opinion.
The brown eyes, black hair, and I've actually, in digging deeper into Travis Decker, I actually spoke with one of his buddies who was actually, in fact, his neighbor while they were stationed in Italy back in 2016 to 2018, and he says that his mental health was already a wreck, that he'd only sleep just a few hours a night because PTSD would keep him up at night.
Oh my God.
At the end of the day, though, he did say that Decker loved his girls. Now, no matter what, though, for the last couple hours, we've been here at the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest, where the search actually continues. It's about 10 to 12 miles behind me at this point because it is such a remote and rugged terrain that we're talking about, where it's very limited cell service, if any, actually. And that is exactly what this multi-agency operation is currently dealing with after Decker's 2017 white GMC Sierra pickup was actually found, along with the bodies of his 3 little girls. Officials say he picked them up Friday but never returned them after his visitation was supposed to be over. As of the hour, though,
Look at that car when I unpause it in a minute. It's interesting. Um, Southern Cat said his eyes will give him away. Abella said, agreed, there is a mark on his nose and a large earring. Those are all things to remember. Carol says if he has a past history of domestic and what we already are being told, he allegedly did do to the 3 children, not just his but theirs, that concerns me. I agree with the change in appearance. Yep. Yes, he is 5'8", weighs about 190 pounds, has black hair. He could be anywhere by now, like Victoria says. The fact that he had a ponytail and mustache and facial hair when he was last seen means he likely does not have that now. 5'8" to 5'10". Yep. Looks like he has 2G or OG. 2 gauge or 0 gauge earrings in. If he ditches them, he'll have sizable holes in his earlobes. Good thing to point out. Yes. Roxanne said the only reason I can think that he would not be with the girls was to look their mother in the eye. He wants to see the pain in her eyes. Then I believe he will unalive himself in her. You know, as sad as that thought process is, that's probably true. It probably is. And as we just saw on the court website, they've got protective orders in place, or are trying to get them in place. I hope she's being protected because, yeah, that could be his goal. It really could. Especially considering we pulled up the documents that he signed everything over to her and is now homeless. There might be substance use involved in this high-stress moment, but if you're on the run, you can't be on substances. You would need them. We love you. Thank you, Chow. QT said that's what I was thinking, agrees with Tom. So sad. I hope Mom is taken far from Washington State. I hope so too. Look at this car.
oh, Decker
Oh, dang it.
is nowhere to be found. We're talking hour, though. Decker is nowhere to be found. We're talking hours now that officials have no exact knowledge as to where he may be. We even saw a search helicopter as they continue to search the wilderness for Decker. Officers are spread out, not just boots on the ground, but also they're following up on other sightings and tips that are currently coming in. If you come back out here live now, I do want to stress that in a brief conversation with Decker's brother, he mentioned that they've been estranged for years, but he does lament that his nieces were taken too soon. Again, this search is ongoing. Officials have no idea or clue where Decker may be, so this search may expand further than the National Forest at this point in time, but we're going to continue following as we continue to learn more from the Wenatchee Police Department and, of course, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. For now, back to you.
Queen of Hearts says he has very distinctive tattoos. He has a native fish tattoo on the inside of his right bicep, and I believe an American flag and eagle on his left bicep. I've just noticed those. Really? Did you see it in the picture? Let me see.
But we begin with AJ Janival joining us live from Wenatchee tonight, where those little girls were from. So AJ, this kind of devastating.
Let me see. I haven't seen a picture that shows his tattoos. Okay, let me go to the actual site. So the first... Okay, so I'll play this one. It will be another AI thing while I see if there's a link to court documents.
Wenatchee City Police and Chelan County
Oh,
Sheriff held
goodness.
a 7 p.m. press conference Tuesday to update what's known about the deaths of 3 girls in the Icicle Valley, allegedly at the hands of their father.
My goodness, Joyous N, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for gifting 20 whole memberships. Oh my gracious. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I really appreciate that. Those went to J.K. Rousey, 1275, B. Sarge, 1976, Yankee Doodle Dandy, Anna Knapp, Coffee and Cream, Casey Face, Alexia, Elizita, Alezita, Jenny B., Kat Nunn, Christine M., American Amy, Lori Jean, Dale Gary Webb, Catherine Barisi, Susie, Catherine Michelle, Tiff, Montauk Lures, Sassy Scouser. Thank you so much, Joyous N, for gifting those memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. My goodness, I appreciate that so very much. And I will grab the crazy train to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. If you were gifted from Joyous N and you are aware you were gifted, please tell them thank you. Thank you so much, Joyous. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you again, sweetheart. That was so sweet. Yeah, I know. I love her name. Carol said this is extremely rough terrain. Washington State actually has all of the 5 temperature climate zones, from rainforest, mountainous, high desert, prairie, and forest, large rivers, coastal access. Oh, wow. Interesting. Hey, Rick. Good to see ya. Okay. There we go. No. Yes.
Wenatchee Police Captain Brian Chance, whose agency was the first to receive report of missing sisters Olivia, 5, Evelyn, 8, and Peyton Decker, 9, outlined early steps in the search. That effort began after their father Travis Caleb Decker, 32, failed to return them to their mother from a scheduled visit May 30th. Sheriff Mike Morrison gave details on the discovery of the girls' bodies Monday near a campsite 17 miles east of Leavenworth, and the backwoods search for Decker that still continues. Travis Decker is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping. He is not thought to be armed, but should not be approached. Anyone spotting him is urged to call 911 immediately. A reward of up to $20,000 through the U.S. Marshals Service is available for information leading directly to Decker's arrest. I want to pay respects to Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, Morrison said. Your memory will never be forgotten, and we will not stop pursuing justice for you until those that were accountable for this are found.
Okay, sorry you couldn't see that. It says next up, court records illuminate children's death in remote campsite from Leavenworth. So I wanted to make sure this stayed up so I could click it. So we'll see what we can find here. So it says court records eliminate children's death in remote campsite. Police affidavits filed in Chelan County. Oh, we can listen to it again. And I'm going to see if there's a link to the records, but I'm not finding anything. This picture reads Chelan County Sheriff's Office, Chelan, County Sheriff's vehicle passed a roadblock en route to the site where the bodies of Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton Decker were found June 2nd.
This article contains descriptions of fatal violence against children. Leavenworth police affidavits filed in Chelan County Court allege 3 Wenatchee girls died in a wooded campsite at the hands of their own father, now a fugitive charged with murder. Sisters Olivia, 5, Evelyn, 8, and Peyton Decker, 9, were students at Lincoln Elementary in Wenatchee, ranging from kindergarten to 3rd grade. The girls' bodies were found Monday afternoon by Chelan County Sheriff's deputies near Rock Island Campground, off Icicle Road about 17 miles west of Leavenworth. Their father, Travis Caleb Decker, 32, remains at large and was charged Tuesday in Chelan County Superior Court with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 of first-degree kidnapping. Decker took his children on Friday for a scheduled 3-hour custodial visit, but did not return them to their mother by 8 p.m. as agreed. She contacted Wenatchee police 90 minutes later, and a weekend of searching followed. A sheriff's deputy found Decker's white 2017 GMC Sierra about 3:56 p.m. Monday, parked and empty near Rock Island Campground. Police searchers then found the girls' bodies about 75 to 100 yards away down a small embankment. According to a police court affidavit, the girls' wrists appeared to have been zip-tied and their heads hooded with plastic bags. They are believed to have died from asphyxiation. They were wearing the same clothing they had on when they left their mother's home. Police had first sought and received a warrant Monday to arrest Decker on charges of custodial interference. That warrant was quashed Tuesday and superseded by the murder charges. Police have asked for community assistance in locating Decker. He is 5 feet 8 inches tall, with black hair and brown eyes. Last seen wearing a light-colored shirt and dark shorts. Anyone seeing him is urged to call 911 immediately and not make contact with him. Tips may also be submitted online. Decker was without a permanent home and living in his truck, as well as at campsites and motels. His family told police he had been dealing with mental health challenges. Chelan County Undersheriff Dan Osmond said ground search teams continue to look for Decker in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Partners in the search include the FBI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Border Patrol. Supporters of the girl's family have started a GoFundMe page to raise money for expenses and legal costs related to the tragedy.
Okay, I know we might have already heard that one, but I played it anyway. I'm trying one more time because I really want to try to find it. We do know that it is Superior Court. We're going to try Chilean. Year filed after January 1st of 2025, and we're going to try Travis again, but I think they made it to where the public can't see it. Oh, my caps lock is on. Hold on. Yep, it's not going to show. Oh, civil. Try criminal. There's no docket info. Archived, no docket info. So that's all we're going to be able to find right now. Which kind of sucks. The only thing about that description that brings me any comfort whatsoever is that possibly the children were asleep. It would be difficult to imagine gathering them all at once awake to do so. Yeah, but it's traumatizing to think that, those children, they might have been asleep when he zip-tied their hands, but he zip-tied their hands to keep them from grabbing at his wrist as he was choking them, in my opinion, or suffocating, asphyxiating them, which is really sad. Because that's the only thing that makes sense logistically, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to be able to get the court records, unfortunately. Let's go back to YouTube now. I saw that you said that she put out a video, but I don't, if she just dropped it, I don't want to play it. I'd rather refer y'all over there. So this tells us it's titled, Why Wasn't an Amber Alert Issued for the Missing Decker Sisters? Washington State Patrol Explains.
Involvement in this case with the missing girls in Wenatchee?
Well, our office, the State Patrol coordinates the alert systems for the state. We have 4 different alerts: the AMBER, the IMPA, the Missing Endangered Person Alert, the MIPA, which is the Missing Indigenous Persons Alert, and then the Silver Alert. And so our MUPU, we've got a lot of abbreviations, but our MUPU, which is our Missing and Unidentified Persons Unit, coordinate the alert systems. So I work closely with them.
What was the alert that was issued in this case with the 3
It was an
girls?
IMPA, an Endangered Missing Persons Alert, which is for someone who cannot assist in their own recovery. So if someone is, because of age or some sort of cognitive impairment or physical impairment, not able to assist, then it will be an IMPA. Amber alerts are a federal program. The other programs are state programs. And so the Amber Alert has very specific federal requirements.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. I mean, it sounds like those requirements weren't met in this case.
There are 5 requirements. The first is obvious, 17 or younger, is because it's for children. The second one is the one, there are 2 of the 5 that this situation didn't meet. And the second one was that there's evidence of abduction. Now, just because a parent with custodial privileges is late bringing a child back does not mean there's been an abduction. And so there was not specific evidence of an abduction. But there was, 2 of the others, it was being investigated by a local law enforcement agency. And
So Plunder did drop the court documents, and I did just get them from her Patreon, so we will go over them. If you want to see her go over them, definitely get with her. I'm going to email them to myself right now, and we'll talk about them. I have no idea how she got it. I'm going to have to email her or try to get with her and ask her how in the crap she got them. She's got 4 documents. So I'm sending them to myself right now, and we will go over them, and I will, of course, drop Plunder's links.
Reported to the FBI and all those sorts of things that are required. And the fourth thing is there was ample information that would help us find the people if we had the alert. Sometimes we'll have folks say, my daughter's missing, my grandfather's missing, whomever's missing. They don't have a photo, they don't really have a very good description, they don't know exactly where he or she was. They don't have a vehicle license or description. There's just nothing. They're missing. But in this case, we had all of that. So we had ample information. But then the last requirement is the one that really is the one that didn't allow it. And that was that there's direct evidence that the person that's missing is in danger of serious bodily injury or death. And we just didn't have that in this case.
The EMPA, it sounds like, is sort of
it's a catch-all.
It's a short of, we want to get this word out.
Yeah.
I know we as media organizations, we received it. Talk to me about the scope of when an EMPA alert goes out.
Well, both the Amber and the EMPA go out to, all of our alerts go out to our broadcast partners, and you folks do a great job. Coma does a great job of putting the word out, whether it's radio, television, your social media, and so it amplifies the alert immediately. There's also a listserv that people can sign up for, and we have thousands of people across the state who have signed up and get every one of our alerts. And then with EMPA and Amber, we have a relationship with the Department of Transportation where they use their variable message boards, the reader boards. And so you get, the missing person, they get a vehicle description, that sort of thing. But the difference between EMPA and Amber, the Amber has that push notification that we all get on our phones, makes the loud noise, and you have to look at it and you have to turn it off, so you have to address it. The EMPA does not have that. But other than that, this was a very wide-ranging alert that went out across the state. We target them geographically. And I believe it was on Saturday where, in discussions with the Wenatchee Police Department, where we expanded the geography of the alert system. I believe it went from north central to northwestern region, which is a much bigger, all-encompassing region. But we were having discussions with them from Friday night on about what can we do. If the Amber was not going to be able to use that, if we weren't eligible for the Amber, then what could we use? And the EMPA was the best we could do.
Yeah. There was also a lot of ground searches going on. I mean, was State Patrol assisting in that?
Mostly the local investigating agency, but for instance, right now our crime scene team is looking at the crime scene. So we're involved as requested by the local investigatory agencies.
Yeah. Anything else you feel like we want to add? I know a lot of people are asking that question about why didn't this Amber Alert go out. In short, what would you tell them?
In short, it didn't meet the federal requirements for an Amber Alert. And it's important that we maintain those requirements lest our alert systems become noise rather than signal. They're very effective because they're used in a targeted fashion. I believe this year there's been 3 Amber alerts. There's been 14 EMPA alerts. There's been 22 MIPA alerts, the missing indigenous persons. There's been 42 silver alerts. So, the farther away you get from those specific requirements, the more likely you are to have the alert. But ask yourself, when you see an Amber Alert, do you pay attention more than a Silver Alert? Well, you do, because you know the importance of it.
I mean, I could see that, but it still upsets me. You have a screenshot? Sure, you can email it to me. If you're talking about the documents, I did download them from Plunder's Patreon because I am a member of her Patreon. Okay, what are we doing right now, Mouse? So we are going to talk about them, and I did just pin the link to her video to the top of the page. I'm going to watch it and see if she tells how she got the documents, because I would like to have them without her watermark on them. But I do appreciate her finding them. They will have her watermark on them, but we'll still go over them. And yeah, that's amazing work, because as you guys saw, I tried very hard to find them and couldn't.
We expanded the IMPA through the day. Monday, we got word that he may be thinking about leaving the state, so we worked with the states that were possible. So continuing to expand, and of course Friday in that search, they physically found the bodies. And we don't know the timelines. We don't know when the girls killed. We don't know whether the alerts would have made a difference. We just don't know. Yeah. But we do all we can do, and sometimes it's not enough, and it breaks your heart.
Oh. No. Yeah. Sent me a picture of him clean shaven. Okay, so that's very important. Let's get that pulled up. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, it's very, very important to know what he looks like in case anybody sees him. I got one email of a link from the Hill. So far, it might take a minute for it to get there. I know I tried to email somebody that was live and they weren't getting my email. Y'all. Oh, it's there. I want y'all to look. Hopefully there's nothing too incriminating on this. It says, I email stuff to myself, right? And when I was saying I can't verify that they had been asphyxiated, right here, murdered Washington girl's cause of death was likely asphyxiation. I had the damn thing right there. And, hold on. And I did not, even open it. Okay, try it this way. Okay, so remember this scumbag could have shaved, so I saved images and put this together. I mean, I don't know necessarily, is that him? That looks like a modeling person. I don't know necessarily if that's him, but that could be him, and that could be what he looks like. Let me see what I can pull up on Google real quick. And I'll take y'all with me before we look at court documents. Yeah, it's not showing them, like I'm not able to pull him up that way. It's just showing the two pictures we have, but we can try Facebook real quick and see if we pull up anything. Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is from Kimmy Kim, and it's saying that that's him, but I don't know. Like, I can't verify it. Does appear that he has the fish tattoo and the flags tattoos. It kind of looks like his eyes. But I can't see his arms in those pictures. So, that could be him. In my opinion, the entire Amber Alert system needs to be nationwide, considering we have nationwide transport widely available. I also firmly believe Child Protective Services should be nationalized. Very good points, Carol. Very good. Very good points. I agree. Carol said, it is well known that people with an active CPS investigation can move out of that city, county, and or state and completely start over with a clean record as far as any investigative authorities know. Absolutely correct. Amber Alert should cross borders too. Yep. See, the tattoos, though, Kalisa, are on these two. Oh, hold on. These two pictures, okay? Now, where he smiles right there, that kind of looks like his eyes and nose. But the two pictures that have been put out by police, which is this one and this one, we can't see any tattoos. And they haven't put out those pictures. And, like, why do we not have any of him with the girls or anything? So it does resemble him, but I'm not going to etch it in stone, okay? They say, look at his neck, okay? Let's see. So neck is about the same size as the head. Yeah? Could be. Could be. Yeah. Neck is about the same size as the head. These guys don't have the gauged out ears. Well, that one could be gauged out. Very possible the same person, but not definitive on it yet. My geese are going off again. Okay, let's see. I mean, yeah, they're posting. There's some with the girls, but look, there's the dog. Oh my gosh. Wait, that looks like a fake dog. Is that even real? See, some people be posting some shit. You know what I mean? Look at the eyes. And the paws. I don't think that's real. I think that's a toy. Oh, this might be the vigil.
Sisters found murdered in.
We'll look at the vigil real quick, and then I'll pull the court doc. Sorry, I don't mean to keep teasing y'all. Look, everything's pink.
A small town in Washington state holding a vigil last night for 3 young sisters found murdered in the woods.
Going on 20 years, I don't think I've had a situation that has really almost prompted tears to come up. We feel for the family.
9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker were found dead near a campground in the small town of Leavenworth. Authorities say it appears they'd been suffocated. Police searching overnight for their father, 32-year-old Travis Decker, accusing him of killing the girls during a court-approved visit.
Having my own daughter, and that's shocking. I don't know what this mother is going through. It's probably that's the hell on earth.
When the girls did not return home Friday, their mother reported them missing, but authorities say the case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. Those criteria include reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred, and a law enforcement belief that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death.
Just because a parent with custodial privileges is late bringing a child back does not mean there's been an abduction.
We just talked about that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so there was not specific evidence of an abduction.
Instead, authorities issued what's called an EMPA, an Endangered Missing Person Alert, a less urgent notice that does not trigger phone alerts. As for Decker, police say he'd been living out of his truck and had a history of mental health issues.
Do they have food and water? Do they have food and water? Please and thank you. Hey, Miss Honey. I didn't see your comment, but I see Abella said, hey, nice to meet you. They already ate all their food? Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute, y'all. We'll keep him up on the screen. Let me get the geese some food. I sincerely apologize, y'all. They must be hitting growth spurt and eating like crazy. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to keep going. Um, Carol said all of us need to find out who our local representatives are in our state. You will have at least 2 that you can contact and let them know there must be progress in the care for children and veterans. I agree. I imagine showing his pic with the tattoos is super important. That's why I'm questioning if those are accurate, especially clean shaven, because that would be an important thing to be showing the public because more than likely he has altered his appearance. Okay. So these documents are from Plunder True Crime. I have pinned her at the top of the comments section, and she is also linked in the description box. Please check her out and subscribe to her if you haven't. She is a really great creator. Cara said, I'm sorry, he has known history of mental health issues. He didn't return the children on time, is living out of his truck, and that's not enough to issue an Amber Alert? Evidently. Your representatives are the ones who decide the legislation for your state depending on their status and the impetus the situation requires. New laws can be formed. That's how it works. Yes. Every time I hear sirens or helicopters, I wonder if they found him. Oh, goodness. That is troubling. Okay. So, this first document that Plunder pulled is the state of Washington versus Travis Decker. And it gives us his date of birth, but I lost my writing utensil. I need to write that down. Of August 15th, 1992. Lord, he's younger than me. Okay. Says State of Washington, to the sheriff and any peace officer of said county or any county in the state of Washington, whereas in the Superior Court for Chelan County held at Wenatchee, Washington, the prosecuting attorney for Chelan County did present and file an information on the part of the state of Washington charging the above-named defendant with the crimes of aggravated murder in the first degree 3 counts and kidnapping in the first degree 3 counts, and the court finding probable cause for the issuance of a warrant herein. Now therefore, in the name of the state of Washington, you are commanded forthwith to apprehend and arrest Travis Caleb Decker and bring said defendant before this court to answer said charges and abide such further order as the county may take in the premises. Endorsed for transmission by teletype. Okay, so that's our first document. Hold on just a minute. Da da da. Da 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 da. Okay, I just had to send a message in Discord to the mod chat if you guys are there. Not today, Satan. Okay. What is this one? Another document from Plunder. Superior Court for Chelan County. The undersigned on oath states the affiant believes the crime of murder in the first degree and kidnapping in the first degree has been committed by the defendant. Today's date is June 3rd, 2025. The time is now 9 a.m. The affiant's belief is based on the following facts and circumstances. On May 30th, 2025, at around 21:34 hours, Whitney D. Decker arrived in lobby at the Washington Police Department to report a civil complaint. She advised patrol that her ex-husband, Travis C. Decker, had failed to return their 3 children at 2000 hours in violation of their agreed-upon court-ordered parenting plan. Corporal Gonzalez noted Whitney appeared distraught and looked like she had recently been crying. She advised that her and Decker were previously married but have been divorced for several years and have 3 children together. Along with the divorce, the two had a parenting plan in place, with the most current one issued by a judge on September 27th of 2024. The current parenting plan limits Decker's visitation to every other weekend, with specific hours of Friday from 5 to 2000 hours, Saturday from 11 to 1900 hours, and Sunday from 9 to 1700 hours. The order also specifies no overnight visits, and the visits will only occur in the Wenatchee Valley. Whitney reported that Decker picked up their daughters from her residence and around the scheduled time of 1700 hours, but did not return them around 2000 hours. She stated she attempted to call Decker multiple times, but his cell phone goes straight to voicemail, which typically means the cell phone is off or out of service. Whitney expressed concern because Decker reportedly has never done this before, and further noted he is currently experiencing some mental health issues. At the time of the initial report, Whitney explained that Decker does not currently have stable residence and is considered homeless. He is known to often stay in He is known to often stay in hotels or motels, or he camps at local campgrounds, but Whitney did not know where to find him. Corporal Gonzalez stated he attempted Decker's cell phone number, but it went straight to voicemail, identifying the cell phone as Decker's. Whitney knows Decker drives a white truck but was unsure what kind. She, however, noted he had recently been cited for driving without insurance. Corporal Gonzalez conducted a record search and identified Decker's truck as a white 2017 GMC Sierra, which had been in a collision on May 27th, 2025, which was in fact cited for some infractions following the investigation by Washington Police Department patrol. It also appears he was in another collision on May 4th, 2025, but left the scene. Call notes say there was no damage to the other vehicle when patrol arrived, and the other driver declined a need for a follow-up. Corporal Gonzalez checked Decker's vehicle registration through Flock Safety and found that the truck was last registered by automatic license plate readers northbound on the Wenatchee Bridge at 1741 hours. He noted this was likely after Decker picked up his daughters and suspected he may have headed to a hotel or campground in the North End. After the contact with Whitney, Corporal Gonzalez checked all hotels and motels in the city limits, as well as Confluence State Park. While at Confluence, he spoke to a park ranger and was able to check the camping roster. Decker was not listed as staying at any campsite. East Wenatchee PD Officer Conley was contacted and asked to check East Wenatchee hotels and motels for Decker's vehicle. After a search of the area, Decker's vehicle was not located. Given the circumstances, an attempt to locate, or ATL, was initiated for all Valley agencies to be on the lookout for Decker, his vehicle, and the children. Corporal Gonzalez investigated further and consulted with the Washington State Patrol, or WSP, Missing and Endangered Persons Unit. He provided facts of the case to screen for Amber Alert, but based on the fact there was no current evidence to believe the children were at risk of serious bodily injury or death, it did not qualify. Whitney was advised of the updates and inability to locate the children, Decker, or his vehicle. She was advised to call Rivercom immediately if and when she hears from Decker. On May 31st, 2025, there was a large social media presence looking for information into the whereabouts of Decker and the children. By the time I saw the social media post, it was clear that Whitney had not been able to contact Decker for over 12 hours, and from WPD's pass down, it was noted that one of the children had an event planned at a local park for the morning of that Decker and the children never showed up for. And that would have been scary for her because she said that he always showed up for the stuff for the girls. Hey, Chappie, good to see you. Or Tish. Well, they were wrong about that. Clearly, kids were in worser than danger, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no. I know. Yeah, this is new. I got these documents from Plunder. Okay. With a continued concern about the lack of communication from Decker, I met with Whitney at her parents' residence in Wenatchee to get further details. Whitney explained that she and Decker were married for about 7 years, but have since been divorced for a few years. She explained the divorce was civil and initially Decker had housing and was allowed overnight visits. However, when he lost housing, the parenting plan was readdressed to accommodate accordingly. Whitney denied any domestic violence during their marriage, but did mention moments of power or control he used. She provided the examples of randomly leaving or waking her up by screaming at her in the middle of the night. She also said near the end of the marriage, he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder that she believes he currently does not take medications for. While married, Whitney and Decker had 3 children in common. She identified them as 9-year-old Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. They reportedly have a good relationship with Decker and enjoy their time with Decker. Whitney also reported no issues, with him. The overall relationship reported to be good and the children enjoyed their time with Decker. Whitney also reported no issues with recent visitations and stated her and Decker are in communicative. Her and Decker are communicative with issues surrounding them and if either will be late for any reason. She reiterated that Decker has never failed to return the kids. Basil has entered the room for all of my Basil lovers. Miss Honeybee, there you are, said, I work in the legal field. I have extensive knowledge and history of family court. Cops won't intervene because of Social Security Act Title IVD. Yeah, and it's a civil matter, I think. I would think. The IVD feds pay states money for money, what they collect in child support. So state wants little legal intervention into cases because the money flow from feds will be disrupted. I believe that. Can't verify it personally, but I believe it. Okay. The parenting plan provided by Whitney specifies the visitation hours and discusses holiday and birthday considerations. Notable concerns and reasons putting limitations of parenting show Decker has neglected his parental duties and has a long term emotional or physical problem that gets in the way of his ability to parent. The plan also notes details about access to the children and ability to talk with them via cell phone when needed. Whitney said they agreed to the plan, but the signature line states Decker refused to sign. Interesting. So that tells me that he was very much not in line with the divorce or the decisions of the parenting plan. I do too. It's such a pretty name. Oh, thank you for giving Basil some lettuce and carrots. He appreciates it. Actually, he's laying down, got his little back legs all stretched out. Where's his crackers? Hold on, let me give him some quackles. Oh, some quackers? Some quackers? All right. So, yeah, evidently he was not in agreement with that at all. Decker is also supposed to seek mental health treatment and domestic violence anger management counseling under the parenting plan, but has not. The exchange on Friday night occurred without issues. However, Whitney noted Decker was quieter than usual, which was out of character. She mentioned the recent ticket being a financial burden for him, along with garnished wages due to back child support. There we go with the financial again. I mean, he's so upset with the divorce and the parenting plan he refuses to sign. We've got stress from finances. And that's statistically common in cases where dads killed the whole entire family or the children. He loves parsley. That's like all he eats. He eats parsley and cilantro. If the state collects $1 million, the feds pay them $1 million. Child support is figured on percents of income. Who makes the most get less parenting time and pays the most, so the state can get the max money from feds. Interesting. It's a civil issue and not the best interest of the children. I agree with that. Yeah, don't take parsley from strangers, Basil. Okay. So, stress from finances, not agreeing with the parent plan, all of these things. Lord of mercy. Okay. She then addressed that he has been talking about getting rid of his dog due to housing and further financial concerns. Whitney stated his children and his dog are the two biggest positives in his life. Oh, God. Whitney also stated when overnight camping trips have been allowed, they have been planned in advance with clear details of the plans. The children also leave with a bag of clothing and appropriate attire to spend the night outdoors. When they left the home, they had the clothes on their back. As of June 2nd, 2025 at 9, there has been no contact with Decker and his cell phone continues to go straight to voicemail when called. He has failed to return the children on Friday, May 30th, 2025 at 2000 hours. He failed to return the children on Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at 1800 hours. He failed to return the children Sunday, June 1st, 2025 at 1700 hours. Decker then failed to show up to work this morning and his boss noted some recent mental health concerns. Good God. Given that Decker has failed to return the children when directed and with no open communication with Whitney, it is believed that there is an intent to withhold the children permanently from Whitney. And given that he has supposed given that he has superposed 3 different scheduled times for return and the children. Okay. Let me read that. Let me get a sip of my coffee and try to read that sentence one more damn time. And given that he has superposed 3 different scheduled times for return of the children, it is believed that he is well past a protracted period of time. And given the children left home with no supplies for the extended time, it is believed that he is a substantial risk of illness or physical injury. Therefore, there was probable cause to arrest Travis Decker for 3 counts of custodial interference in the first degree, and on June 2nd, 2025, a warrant for his arrest was requested and later granted by Chilean County Superior Court judge. In an active attempt to locate Decker and the children, law enforcement utilized a variety of resources and known tools to include cell phone recordings and timing, advanced automatic license plate readers, canvassing of the area for security, search of possible locations in the region, and social media. On Monday, June 2nd, 2025, a larger and more intensive search was conducted across Chelan County with the help of CCSO and eventually family and friends and volunteers as people began to learn about the children's disappearance. At around 15:56 hours on June 2nd, 2025, CCSO Deputy McLeod located Decker's vehicle unoccupied in the area of Rock Island Campground, Leavenworth, Washington, off Icicle Road, with the nearest city and town of Leavenworth. The campground is located in unincorporated Chelan County in the state of Washington. Law enforcement personnel from Chelan County Sheriff's Office and Wenatchee Police Department, along helicopter support from Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, converged in the area. Approximately 75 to 100 yards past where the vehicle was located. Okay, wait a minute. I skipped. No, I didn't. Okay. Approximately 75 to 100 yards from where the vehicle was located and down a small embankment, CCSO deputies located the bodies of 3 school-aged children. Due to current safety concerns and seed preservation, the bodies have yet to be approached, but there is some clear signs of lividity. Each has a plastic bag over their head. Based on the totality of the circumstances, including the proximity to the vehicle and visible attire of the bodies, which is consistent with the clothing the children were wearing when they were transferred to Decker for visitation, they are presumed to be Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Oh my God. They had bags over their heads. Decker's location is currently unknown, and there is currently a coordinated effort to search the immediate area, if not further, for him, so the scene we have can be searched. Around the vehicle and along the way to where the children are located, officers and deputies located zip ties and plastic bags strewn throughout the area. The tailgate of the pickup truck also has what appeared to be 2 handprints of blood. The truck has personal items to include blankets, car seats, food, and miscellaneous items, and a wallet on the center console. I wish they would say if it was, I'm assuming since they were asphyxiated, the handprints would be his, but like, why is he leaving 2 bloody handprints on the truck to make it look like he did something that he didn't do? Did he do something and like wandered off to die, kind of like a hurt deer does when you shoot him? Like, it's just odd to me that there's those handprints. That doesn't fit. During the search of the area, an abandoned camp was located nearby in the approximate area with signs of recent activity. The camp consists of a fire pit, tent, and a cooler, and within a short walk from where the vehicle and bodies were located. Cell phone records, Decker's cell phone acquired Saturday under exigency show that Decker likely traveled to the area on Thursday, May 29, 2025 evening and returned Wenatchee Friday morning. Under the totality of the situation, it appears that Decker drove through the area the night prior and returned the next day with the children. Preliminary examination suggests the likely cause of death was asphyxiation. Their wrists were also zip-tied or showed signs of being zip-tied. They were also positively identified as Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia by the Chelan County coroner. There is probable cause to arrest Travis for 3 counts of murder in the first degree and 3 counts of kidnapping in the first degree. Damn. Hey, Max. I think the last contact that he made with the mom would have been that Friday when he picked the kids up. All right, I've got this document and one more after this that we'll look at before I go for the day. Yeah, that was a good question. When got kids from mom? From to mom? Yeah. Okay, State of Washington versus Travis. Comes now Robert C.D., prosecuting attorney for the county of Chilean, state of Washington, and by this information accuses Travis of the crimes of aggravated murder in the first degree, 3 counts, and kidnapping in the first degree, 3 counts. Committed as follows to wit. Okay, sorry. Count 1, aggravated murder in the first degree. That the said Travis Caleb Decker in the state of Washington on or about between May 30th, 2025 through June 2nd, 2025 did then and there unlawfully and with premeditated intent to cause the death of another person, did cause the death of Peyton, a human being, and furthermore, the murder was committed in the course of, in furtherance of, or in immediate flight from one of the following crimes: kidnapping in the first degree, and or 2, there was more than one victim and the murders were part of a common scheme or plan, contrary to RCW 9A 32030 subsection 1 subsection A and 110.95.020 subsection 10 subsection 11 subsection D. The maximum penalty for the above crime is life in prison without parole. Count 2, aggravated murder in the first degree. That Travis, between May 30th and June 2nd, did cause the death of Evelyn in furtherance of kidnapping. There was more than one murder. It's the same thing that we just read. The maximum penalty is life in prison without parole. And count 3, aggravated murder in the first degree. And that one is going to be for Olivia, in furtherance of or immediate flight from the kidnapping and all of that. It's all 3 counts are the same. The names are just different. Now we got the kidnapping. That the said Travis Caleb Decker in the state of Washington on or about May 30th, 2025 did intentionally abduct Peyton, a human being, with intent to facilitate commission of a felony or flight thereafter and to inflict body injury on her, contrary to RCW 9A 40020 subsection 1 subsections B and C. Special allegation, particularly vulnerable victim, aggravating circumstance, and further do allege the defendant knew or should have known that the victim of the current offense was particularly vulnerable or incapable of resistance, and the victim's vulnerability was a substantial factor in the commission of the offense, contrary to that law. Special allegation, used position of trust, aggravating circumstance, and further do allege the defendant used his position of trust, confidence, or fiduciary responsibility to facilitate the commission of the current offense, contrary to the law. Special allegation, impact on others, aggravating circumstance, and further do allege the offense involved a destructive and foreseeable impact on persons other than the victim, contrary to the law, that the maximum penalty for this Class A felony crime is life in prison and or a $50,000 fine. So, she was it's going to be the same. The names are just going to be different. And he's getting extra aggravating circumstances because they were particularly vulnerable, because they were children. He had a position of trust because he was their father, and the impact on others, which would be their mother. Those all add extra charges. So there's the count of kidnapping for Evelyn with all the same things, and the count of kidnapping for Olivia. Okay, Cara, you have a good day, sweetheart. Hey, Miss Dakota. Nice to meet you. And that's all of that document. All right, I got one more before I'm going to go for the day. Oh, Might help if I pull it up first. Again, these are from Plunder. Definitely go check her out. She is pinned in the comment section and linked in the description box. I got these off of her Patreon. In the Superior Court of the State of Washington in and for the County of Chilean. Based upon the information, it's Washington versus Travis. It's an order for warrant on probable cause. Based upon the information and supporting affidavit of Detective Hewitt of the Wenatchee Police Department, the court finds probable cause for the issuance of a warrant for the arrest of the above defendant. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordered that a warrant of arrest be issued for the arrest of Travis Caleb Decker upon the charge of aggravated murder in the first degree, 3 counts, and kidnapping in the first degree, 3 counts. And bail is fixed in the amount of no bail pending the defendant's first appearance in court. Transmission by teletype is hereby authorized. Hey, Hio. I need you. I'm about to text you. I need your help. You gotta help me. Okay, I'm going to check real quick and see if there is an update on this before we close it out for the day. Hold on just a minute. That poor mother. I would have to be sedated. I know, Donna. It's so sad. It's so sad. I can't imagine. We're going to look for updates, and we're going to talk about the familia side thing too, because I think it plays a very important role. We'll talk about the definition of that again. Updates on Travis Decker. This is from 4 hours ago. Hold on. Excuse me. Travis Decker missing update. Police hunt father after daughter's found dead. That's from the presser.
Until Travis is located. Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing, do what you need to do, and take accountability for your actions. We're not going to go away, we're not going to rest, and we're going to make sure we find you. You will be brought to justice. Those young ladies deserve it.
Okay. Good gracious with all the ads. U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and local police are searching for the father of 3 girls who were found dead after spending time with their father, Travis Decker. The 3 girls, Evelyn, Peyton, and Olivia Decker, were reported missing on June 1st after Decker failed to return them home for their regular visitation hours with him. They were found deceased on June 3rd near their father's white truck, but their father remains missing. Wenatchee Police Department is urging the public to assist in locating Decker, but has also warned he, quote, may pose a significant risk if approached, given his military background. WPD has been contacted via Facebook, and the Wenatchee Mayor's office has been contacted via email for comment. Why it matters. WPD did not issue an Amber Alert for the children when they went missing initially, as although they had always come home at odd time in the past, failing to return from visitation hours is not a typical occurrence for children and does not qualify as an Amber Alert issue. Some people are now questioning if issuing an Amber Alert could have saved the children. The deaths also raise concerns about the safety of his custody agreement and the mental health issues faced by veterans. The Decker girls, Peyton 9, Evelyn 8, and Olivia 5, lived with their mother in central Washington and saw their father under his visitation rights. The mother, Whitney Decker, called the police on Friday, May 30th, when they failed to return home after seeing Travis Decker. Whitney said that this had never happened before, and she knew Travis, who is homeless, had been suffering from mental health issues. Although WPD was unable to issue an Amber Alert on Friday, they created an endangered missing person alert on Saturday, May 31st, and notified the public via social media about the missing girls on June 1st. The search for the girls ended when police found Decker's white 2017 GMC Sierra pickup truck near Rock Island Campground in Chelan County. They then searched the area, uncovering the girls' bodies nearby. According to court documents obtained by KIRO, the girls likely died from asphyxiation. WPD has issued a warrant for Decker's arrest for multiple counts of murder in the first degree and kidnapping in the first degree. Crime scene data has been taken from his pickup and from the area where the girls were found dead, which police said would be processed by June 3rd. Police have described Decker as a man with, quote, extensive military training, unquote, who prior to the deaths of his daughter was homeless and living in a combination of his vehicle, motels, and campgrounds in the area. Wenatchee Police Department posted on Facebook, quote, "We want to express our sincere and deep heartfelt condolences to the family at this time," unquote. Washington State Patrol Public Affairs Director Chris Loftus told Sky News, quote, "We're people too, you know, so the loss of the children, the loss of 2 children, the loss of 3 children is devastating," unquote. The search continues for Travis Decker at this time. I'm going to click that link just to see if I can pull up them records. Okay, now we're going to talk about familicide is a type of murder or murder-suicide. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Nope, you sure cannot. Hold on. There you go. Familicide is a type of murder or murder-suicide in which an individual kills multiple close family members, often including children, spouses, or parents. In many cases, the perpetrator may also take their own life after committing the act. It is most commonly associated with a parent, usually the father, who kills his wife and children. Familicide is considered a rare but severe form of violence, often linked to underlying psychological issues and domestic violence. So sad. I always want to see a timeline. Yeah. I'm going to see what I can pull. She's at the ER with Nana. Oh, no. Lord Jesus. Well, please keep her in your thoughts and prayers, as well as this family and the county of Chelan, Wenatchee, Washington. I feel so bad for Whitney. I'm going to post her GoFundMe in the description box if anybody wants to donate. I'm going to donate myself later tonight when Mr. Speculating gets paid. So I do appreciate y'all being here and hanging out with me today. If I hear that he is found, I will definitely update you. You might hear it before me. If you hear that he's found, let me know. My heart goes out to everyone. It's just so sad. I appreciate y'all being here with me today. I appreciate your thoughts, your speculations, your opinions, and your concerns. Please keep Hio and her Nana in your prayers, as well as these families and the community at large. I hope that Travis is found alive, so that regardless of whether he serves life in prison or not, he can get the mental health he needs. I think he needs to account for this. So I hope he's found alive. The longer it takes, the more I doubt it. But thank y'all for being here. If nobody has told you, you are important, you are enough, you are special, and you are loved. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.